We're gonna get it into small enough sections, move it in by hand. Since we're on a pretty steep slope here, we're not getting anything else down there, so it's gonna take a little
elbow grease?
A little hauling ourselves.
How old do you think this thing is, or was?
It's 60 plus.
60 plus years old?
Oh yeah.
So I guess we should just start sawing pieces off and make them manageable sizes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you got a fun job. All right, so Mark's gonna keep sawing. We're gonna cut that tree down into small pieces. Using the chainsaw was awesome. Dream come true. So thanks to Mark from Colonel Landscaping. I'm sure there are more projects to do around here. There's always something to do around here. See you next time on the farm. All right, we've made our way to the supposed cemetery. This is where my kids say they heard some weird stuff. The dog won't go near here. So I'm assuming this in here, something's buried or something's going on here. There's a weird kind of creepy gate, which I don't know if this is locked, but let me try to find maybe a headstone or some kind of grave marking. Listen, there's got to be a reason why there's barbed wire around this place, and it's been fenced off. So, let me consult I have a ghost hunting app. Is there a ghost here? Are there any spirits in the area? If there's somebody here, I don't know, I could feel it. I kind of just got a shiver. If there's somebody here, show me a sign. Did you hear that knocking? Spirit, do it again. Are you a human or animal? Oh, you hear that scratching? Make that sound again. Oh, I hear scratching. Am I close to your gravesite? Are you buried in here? Man, I don't know what's here. I don't like it. I don't like it. So aside from rest, relaxation, and a lot of work, another reason we bought the farm was because my wife owns a company called All Things Elderberry, where she makes elderberry elixir and various other elderberry products. So not only are we building a house on the property, but this is the field over here with over 70 rows of elderberry plants, over 9,000 elderberry plants on this field right now. So let me take you up there. Let me show you what it's all about. So instead of buying elderberries from somebody else, we thought, let's just grow the elderberries ourselves. No big deal. So here we are up here on the big field. It's about 5+ acres of elderberries. As I said, 70 rows, over 9,000 plants. So the rows start over here and go all the way down. So last October, all these plants were put in. Now right now they look like little sticks. But come late July, come August, these sticks will be about yay high, full of elderberries. So there are a bunch of different varieties of elderberry in the field here. This is called a Pocahontas. So this will eventually be here, maybe even higher. So come July, August, we'll need tiny hands to come pick these elderberries, put them in buckets for processing. But for the time being, we need to mulch every single row. Every single row. The mulch is gonna go onto the rows to prevent weeds from sprouting up and killing the elderberry plants. So yeah, that's the next big thing. mulching.
All right, backstage at Point Fest, and for the first time playing our fantastic festival, a rock and roll band that we have come to like quite a bit in the last 6 to 9 months. Gentlemen, it's great to see you from Bad Flower. Welcome to St. Louis and welcome to Point Fest. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Here.
It's great to be here.
So I want
talking into the fart mics.
Talking into the fart mics, absolutely. The first thing that I just want to like kind of cut straight to it. The song Promise Me we're playing right now, and I love it.
Thank you.
Like, I absolutely love it. When we play it, I honestly feel like it jumps out of the speakers and just, I don't know, man, I think it just sounds great, but it definitely sounds different than the first 2 singles before it. I'm assuming that was a purposeful move on you guys' part.
I think if it was up to me, Promise Me would have been the first single. But there were tactics involved as to why we went and did it in the order that we did. And I'm glad that we did it in the order that we did, because Ghost was such a huge success. And then Heroin, we didn't expect to also be such a huge success. So it was cool to sort of like seal that and now come out with our song that is way less on the rock side that everybody knows us to be. Mm-hmm. And it shows more of who we really are, which is a more diverse group.
Right. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Promise Me went #1 at Act.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Moon.
Hello. How's everybody doing? King Scott, Learn, Rafe. No Riz today.
No Riz.
No big deal, though. Just a day off, a planned day off. He'll be back tomorrow. Big weekends for everybody. I know, Rafe, you've been gone since Wednesday. You were down in Texas, in Austin.
Yeehaw. It ain't Texas.
Keeping it weird at Moon Tower Comedy Fest. We'll get to that in a second. Learn, you had a big weekend for other reasons because you had some plans that were canceled.
Yeah.
King Scott, I know you hosted a big Easter thing. And,
nice wet Easter thing.
But it happened.
Yeah,
right?
It happened, and there was over 2,000 folks that still came. It was a blast.
What'd you do?
I will tell you. Tell you. But there is big news that takes priority. And that big news is the major global story of the day that deserves a moment of reflection. This morning, the world is mourning the loss of Pope Francis. Did you guys see the news?
Of course. I woke up and saw Franny.
I'm starting to believe Riz on his parasailing thing.
Well, yeah, he actually texted and said, "Good morning, everybody. I'm on my way to the Vatican."
Yeah, that's where he's en route.
The Vatican did confirm that he passed away peacefully at age 88 earlier today in Rome following complications from pneumonia. Pope Francis was a groundbreaking figure. He made history as the first Jesuit pope. First from the Americas and the first non-European to lead the Catholic Church in more than 1,200 years. The crazy thing is, I just saw him. He was there at Easter yesterday.
I know. I was reading headlines. I mean, J.D. Vance met with him yesterday. He was out, and he was wheeled out. And
he even did the Easter egg hunt for a while.
Yeah, I was listening. The newest episode, or not newest, but David Sedaris is like one of the newest guests on Smart Lists in the last couple of weeks, and I was listening to the episode yesterday as I was cooking, and he was talking about all the humorists that got to meet with Pope Francis last year. Remember whenever like Tina Fey and Stephen Colbert and all these celebrities went over to Rome and our Vatican City and got to see him, and so I had like a and it was Easter, so I was having like a Pope Francis Sunday, and then he passes away.
Yeah, pretty wild. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, led the Catholic Church for over a decade, pushing for humility, reform, and compassion, especially for the poor and marginalized. Known for his effort to bring the church closer to the people, whether he was washing the feet of prisoners, speaking out on climate change, or calling for mercy over judgment, he was never afraid to break tradition in pursuit of connection. I know, a lot of people listening aren't Catholic, but this dude for more than a decade led 1.3 billion people, so kind of a big deal that transcends religion. Despite health challenges in recent years, including a significant hospitalization earlier in 2025, the Pope continued his duties as much as possible. He did make his final public appearance yesterday, Easter Sunday, delivering this traditional Urbe et Orbi. I don't know how to say that.
Orbi.
But he was at St. Peter's Basilica. With his passing, okay, so they initiate this traditional papal conclave to elect his successor. This is the whole smoke thing, right?
Oh, yeah, where it comes out of the tower.
Black smoke, white smoke. One means they haven't found one, and the other one means that they do have a pope,
Yes.
right? The conclave is conducted by the College of Cardinals, involving up to 120 cardinal electors who will convene at the Sistine Chapel, isolated from the outside world, to vote for the new pope. A 2/3 majority is required for election, and the process continues until a new pontiff is chosen.
I
You
love
seen that movie?
No, the Conclave.
Yeah.
No, I heard it's really good though.
It is really good.
I saw
I finally
the two
watched
popes.
it. It just came out. It was up for an Oscar this last. So if you want to understand the
Rafe Fiennes?
process,
Yeah, Rafe. Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes is in it. And no, I accepted him as a Rafe. I actually did that. I actually let him come into the Rafe Club
Oh,
because
that's
I
nice.
decided he's earned it. Good movie. And it's all about that. It's about them electing a new pope and the politics that happen behind the scenes in the process. And it's kind of wild.
I love that. I'm just reading. A clergy member delivered the Pope's full Easter blessing and a message that said, "There can be no peace without freedom of religion, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, and respect for the views of others." I love that that is kind of one of the last things that we will have known that Pope Francis put out to the world. I mean, and to me, it's like super magical that he passed after Easter. I don't know. It's
Dude.
cool.
Well, what's crazy is, what was he hospitalized in February? Or
Yeah.
Keep my eyes peeled for 3 days from now. That's all I'm saying.
What? No doubt.
Well, he was hospitalized, and like people, I saw some video yesterday. People were like, "Oh, it's a miracle! You know, he's healthy again.
Yeah.
He's back out here." Not only was he at Easter, this dude was flying around in the Pope Mobile, like uncovered Pope Mobile, just like convertible and out, kissing babies and stuff, drawing wild cheers and applause as. You know, people were like, "Oh!" I even read an article that was written yesterday about his near-fatal bout of double pneumonia, how he came out of it and is
Right.
now back in
That's
the public
incredible.
Well, yeah, I think they gave him the last rites. I was reading something like a few weeks ago when he was the doctors were ready to stop treatment, and he came out of that.
It's
So
amazing.
they thought he was kind of out of the woods a little bit on that, but I mean, he is an old guy.
Yeah, kind of wild. Crowd of people to below. He came out on the, I guess that balcony. You know, I forget what that balcony is called, but 35,000 people erupted in cheers as a military band kicked off rounds of the Holy See anthem, while he came out and said hello to everybody and blessed everybody. Pretty wild, but R.I.P. Pope Francis, 88 years old.
All right,
I didn't realize
Frankie.
he's the first from the Americas.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow.
First from the Americas, first Jesuit pope, and the first non-European to lead the Catholic Church in more than 1,200 years.
Wow.
Pretty intense, man.
Yeah.
Did he have any nicknames like
Franny.
Pope
That's
Franny?
what I called him.
Pope Franny. Do you guys remember nicknames and everything?
Frankie G.
I came across this article about how nicknames are going extinct.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it like. Nearly everybody in my elementary school life had a nickname. Everybody.
Right.
And sometimes it would change and morph, and you'd kind of gain a new one or like try to shake one or something. But like apparently they are going extinct. This whole Wall Street Journal article goes in and says, all right, so this guy, he's a writer, has 5 kids, aged 6 to 18. None of them have been given nicknames by any of their friends. He says none of their friends seem to have one either. All types of nicknames in decline. Everything from Junior to calling your buddy from Dallas Tex. He thinks it's sad because nicknames are almost always a positive thing or a sign of affection. He says even initials like AJ or JD seem less common, partly because parents take their kids' names more seriously than they used to. There's no Williams going by Billy's. They're Williams now.
That's weird. So, are his kids just really big dorks and no one wants to give them nicknames?
I don't know. What was your nickname?
It was endless. I had a ton of, but in middle school, the one that teachers didn't even know my real name, they would call me Potty. Like everyone called me Potty.
Potty.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where the whole news
Scotty
article came
McPotty?
from?
Yeah, Potty Bidet came from that.
Because he had a website called Potty Bidet.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
there's a news website. It's very important stuff.
That's very nice.
Scotty
Get that out.
Potty.
Yeah, Scotty Potty.
Oh.
And my friend Erin, she gave me that nickname, and it just took off. And so that's what I was known as in Springfield for a long time, as Potty.
They don't always start positive.
Right.
Well, we were always we were so
Sometimes they start a little negative, and they're embraced by the owner of the nickname.
well, and we were so obsessed with everyone having a nickname that even if you didn't have a good one, they just rhymed. It was just a rhyme.
Yeah.
Scotty
Yeah.
Potty.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Rafe, didn't you have something? Wasn't your nickname on your license plate?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was my name. It's just Rafe23.
Oh,
My mom put it
Rafe23.
on
That's
there.
right.
Yeah, 23.
Just
My
like
name was
Michael
23,
Jordan.
dude.
Well, I mean, I guess Rafe is a nickname because that's not on your birth certificate. So I mean,
Well, it was on my birth certificate. And they named me Rafe, and my grandma threw a fit because it was not in her. It wasn't in the Bible, so they changed it to Raphael when I was 2 and misspelled it, so it's still not in the Bible. It's just very confusing to anyone who tries to book a plane ticket for me because I have to always be like, "Hey, you spelled my name wrong."
so basically every name you've ever had is a nickname. 'Cause
Yeah,
who
pretty
knows?
much.
Yeah. That is the best.
Lauren, did you have a good one?
Learn my nickname since high school. Everybody called my
that's a
friend Eric started it,
And fungus.
and fungus.
And
that was what my
Fungus.
team
That's a
was.
great
What's
one.
up? I got a bunch of nicknames actually. Like I have it depends on like what friend group I'm in. Like
Yeah.
my friend Leah, she calls me Boogs,
Bugs.
and her husband does, and so does like all of Tim's friends. They all call me Boogs.
A lot of booger issues.
Well, what's funny is because it's El Boogie, so I'm Boogs, but they call Tim Poop because of a situation that happened in college, which I won't get into on the air.
Oh, please
So
do.
Poop and Boogs
Oh, please
were
do.
so gross. I can't. It's not my story to tell. We should invite him on the air someday, and he'll tell it. But
So he's not Mono Tim. He's
yeah, and Mono Tim, you
Dope.
all call Tim Mono Tim. That
right.
started on the show, and yeah, like Learn. My mom calls me Lorensky. My sister calls me Sissy. I got 1,000 nicknames.
I'll be fully honest. I have a story that may have earned me a new nickname, and Tim might be excited to hear it.
Okay.
It happened this weekend, but first I want to hear about your guys' weekends.
Okay.
So, Scott,
Great.
tell me about yours.
well. We had church on Friday night, and that was really nice. And then Saturday was the big Easter egg hunt over there, and it rained pretty much the whole time, but it was still a blast. My boots got completely soaked all the way through, my socks, my pants.
I heard there were thousands of people.
There's
out
still a couple thousand folks that came out, and
That's
every
great.
Easter egg hunt, we had 6 of them, different rounds, and you could see all the way around that giant field. I mean, it was packed, like 2 or 3 deep with kids ready to run out there and grab stuff. And
So it's like a soccer game. You didn't call it unless it was lightning. There
yeah,
was no
and,
lightning.
and it did great. And we made it right till about 11 because it was supposed to go till noon, but they kind of sped things up a little bit. So probably around 11:15 or something, I was told to say the adios, so I did. And a few seconds later, all of a sudden you see the lightning, and then you hear the thunder, and it was pretty cool. It was like perfect timing.
Nice.
So we
Great-
got out of there, and
great success.
yeah, and the volunteers had to tear down everything, and I got to run away. It was nice. And then yesterday was an incredible day. We went to El Churcho, of course, but I got to help out in the front, so I was giving people coffee and all that, and I was just basically a goober yesterday, and that was nice. And then went to the family.
You got donuts at that church?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Donut holes. The kids were very excited.
Yeah, we had
Right
what
on.
was it?
Oh, Donut Holes.
Palace, the one out
Yeah.
by you. We had their holes, and then
Show me your holes,
maybe
Donut
Krispy
Palace.
Kreme or something else. There's another like one of the Dunkin' or Crispy was the other one that they had.
That is fantastic.
Great success.
Yeah,
Great
it was awesome.
success. Lauren, what about you?
I had a
Good
pretty
Easter.
low key weekend, so yeah, it was fine. Easter was great. Didn't really do much. Got a bunch of stuff. Actually, I celebrated 420 yesterday. I went to a new dispensary and got my CBN gummies. And it's funny because what a holiday, like Easter, 420.
Hitler's birthday.
I mean, it was like
What? I didn't
off
even
the
know that.
chain. And so going to a dispensary on 420, never done that before. And everybody was in such a great mood. So yeah, I had a great weekend. I got to see my niece and my nephews randomly. They were in town, and it was fantastic.
Did you take them
Yay.
along with you?
Yeah, I
Hey,
took
you
them to
guys
their
want to go with
first
Auntie Learn?
dispensary. Yes, I did, and they're
You
on
guys want to
drugs
drive
now.
Auntie Learn?
You know what? I should have them drive. Now my niece Anna's she has her permit right now, and she's not excited about driving. She's really nervous, and so getting to talk to her about that was interesting. Because
Yeah,
the
let her
boys are
smoke a little
like,
bit before she drives, so she's calm. And
I said that. I'm like, here, let
she's-
Auntie Learn give you. No, I'm kidding.
I read a whole article this morning about how pot use is basically kind of leveled, like it sort of peaked
Yeah.
and is not growing anymore.
Oh, I am fully just for sleep help. I do not
It's not
get
cool
high
anymore.
on the weekends. Like that was like 20 years ago me. Now it is, I need this stuff to help me calm down and sleep, and thank God for it, because otherwise I don't think I would be here right now. So thanks. That was my weekend though. It was pretty good.
nice.
Cool.
She's not excited. I feel like that's a thing now. Like, I talked to a comic whose son lives in L.A. and is just getting his driver's license at 18. And I'm like, 18? And she's like, yeah, he wasn't interested, but now he's got to go to college, so he's learning how to drive because he's going away to school where you're going to have to drive.
His parents are saints to drive him around all those extra years out in L.A.
I also just wonder if it's like, well, this is a pretty wealthy comic. I bet they could afford somebody picking him up. He's probably Ubering everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's a nickname thing too, man. Like, it's changed. Like, I feel like the culture's changed. Like, everything's like, because we're like, don't be nice to people. Like, maybe we're being better parents or something.
It's like a gloves on kind of thing.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we had, some of the nicknames aren't great, you know?
All the nicknames for the kids in our house pretty much come from the grandparents. Like my
That's
dad,
nice.
my dad is a nickname king. And
Giver?
Well, and I think I've talked about this before. My kids basically have second names because since they were a baby, my dad would randomly choose a name and call them
That's
that.
cute.
Like he calls my son Walter.
Yeah.
There's no Walters in the family. No one even knows where this came
Walter.
from. My dad probably has no idea where this came from.
I feel like families have their own nicknames, though, too. Like, my brother's name is Cordero, but we call him Pete. And,
Yeah, I can see that.
and like, he looked like an old man when he was a baby, and we had a neighbor named Pete Ramey who had was still doing woodwork in his 80s and had chopped off like 4 of his fingers in a table saw, to the point that he's just like so calm. He'd be like, Irene, I did it again. And he was just like a cool dude. He wore like overalls, looked like a train conductor.
Oh my goodness.
Super sweet guy. He used to give us apples off his apple tree in the backyard. Loved this guy. Very nice man. But they looked alike because my brother looked very old, and we started calling him Pete.
You know what they say?
Oh.
Man, I'll tell you
What do you
what.
say?
Hey, big ups to Pete Ramey if he was because this was before ED treatment. If he was still, those apples had magic in them.
He said he's a woodworker.
He's like, turns out when you're missing a few fingers, the blood supply goes elsewhere.
What?
Pete. Wait till Irene finds out.
Oh gosh.
They just see my brother looked like an old man, but then it was like it got ingrained in him. And we started trying to call him Cord when he was like 3 or 4. We tried to like shake the nickname, and he would get upset and like shake his fist. We'd be like, Cord, you're up to bat wiffle ball, and he'd be like, my name's Pete, and you'd be like, your name's Cord, and he'd like pick up the wiffle ball bat like he was going to fight you with it. So we're like, all right, man, I guess you're Pete. And now when we go out in public, it confuses people because it's so ingrained in me that I don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably shaking it though, in a professional sense. Or
No one calls him that but us. And he doesn't mind it. It's just funny because we'll be out with like our in-laws and stuff, and they'll be like, hey, Pete, hand me the salt. And they're like looking around the table like, who the hell is he talking to? And then it's almost becomes like a coded inside joke in families.
Yeah.
that might have been what happened with my dad, because my son did look like a wrinkly old man, big chunky
Oh, it's
old
like
man.
Mathau or something, probably.
Yeah, maybe he did look like Walter Mathau, and that's what happened. But yeah, my dad's got all these weird nicknames for all the kids, which is cool. It's like their connection. It's
Yeah, it's fun.
But I don't see that happening in the schools or anything.
Really?
If you get one at school,
That's
it's a coin flip, dude. Like you could, if it's a bad rhyme or I've talked about this before. We just had a kid. Even the teachers called him Stinky. Just
Cool.
because, and I'm like,
That's got to be great.
that ain't,
Stinky.
that could never happen.
that's great for you.
And he was a cool dude, man. He was like, he lived a couple houses down from me and was a sweet guy, and he leaned in and embraced it. And it was just
Right.
like one a-hole kid. He came to school, his first day of school, a transfer student in the 6th grade, which is not a good time to join the cast. You know what I mean? You don't want to introduce a new cast member of the crew at the most developmentally volatile time of your life. And it's probably his mom didn't do his laundry or something, and like had that like mildew smell, and the right kid, Matt Grammer, caught wind of it, and he's like, ooh, what's up, Stinky? And that was it. It was over for this kid.
Right.
And I was like, but then I was like, oh, he'll shake that. And the next thing I know, social studies teachers is like taking roll call, and he's like, Stinky? And I'm like, whoa, dude, teachers are using like nicknames, and that would never happen now. Like you get fired for that now.
I hope he's a locksmith now, and his company's Steen Keys.
Man, I can't
That would be nice.
imagine just being called that and then. Whoop, that's the wrong laugh.
Okay.
Well,
hold
that
on.
would be
The whole
weird
crowd
too.
Hang on.
That's the teacher. I'm gonna do that for the rest of the rest of the year.
Oh, I'm a cool teacher.
So tell me about your weekend. You started off. You flew down there on Wednesday.
Yeah, flew down on Wednesday to Austin, Texas. Did Moon Tower Comedy Festival. Did lots of shows, all kinds of parties.
Who'd you see?
Barbecue. Oh man, I saw everybody. It was a pretty big festival. Everybody from Adam Ray to, I ran into everybody at the after parties. There were a couple notable missings. I didn't see Mark Maron this year. He wasn't there. But it was awesome, man. That's a good festival. It's fun. And I saw some Riz people down there. Shout out to Donna and her husband for coming down, and they made a trip of it. And they're like, man, this was fun. We had a great time. Thanks for the reco. So it was nice. Some Riz people made the trip.
That's awesome.
What about the barbecue?
Dude, went to Terry Black's.
Okay, that was the first one that we talked about.
Yeah, because I went down and I went to Terry Black's, and I had like a local person take me to a secret one also that's like it was called IA Barbecue or something like that. A little more
local,
a little more Spanish flair, very spicy. Terry Black's was awesome, dude. I don't know why people were like, oh, don't go there. Like, I get the Franklin's thing, but I heard the Franklin's thing is more like it's not traditional barbecue. It's like almost like a Spanish, almost like a who's the guy that comes in that has a place down in City Winery?
Oh, Gerard Kraft.
Yeah, it's almost like a Gerard Kraft place where it's like, oh, we're going to do a spin on barbecue.
Okay.
So I went and got traditional Terry Black's, and man, Austin's giving us a run for their money.
Oh.
Our money on BBQ, dude. It's pretty good.
But it's kind of all over the place. It doesn't have like a particular style. Like you're saying, there's Spanish flair, there's this, there's that.
This one was pretty on point. This place was printing money. It was like a business.
Nice.
Well, that Stubbs down on 6th Street just kind of reminds me of like a Memphis, like a side project to a Memphis barbecue.
Yeah, this place had its own thing, and it was because they did beef rib, brisket, everything was fatty, just like you want it to be. They don't mess around trying to give you, they don't try to hide what they are and be like, oh, this is lean brisket. Go do yoga after this. They're just like, here's coagulated fat, stick it in your hole. And I'm like, yeah, baby. And they just give you a whole bunch of, just like a handful of bread out of a loaf. And it's just on a big tray. And it was just more, and the roast and turkey and the sides. They had good cream corn.
That's important.
That is
It is
very important.
Great mac and cheese. The sides are important. That's where, you know how I am. Sides can make or break a place to me. And so shout out to Terry Black's, dude. It was very, very good.
That's awesome.
And then, the festival was great. Met Neil Patrick Harris, crowd surf.
MPH.
No, Doogie said, hey, Doogie.
He showed up and he sang The Killers. There's a show that this guy named, I forgot his name. Josh Adam Myers does a show where he has like comics come up in this live band, full band, and it was 90s themed. And they pick a 90s song and sing it. Trailer Trash Tammy got up and did Creed. But it's like legit. Like they go for it. You go to rehearsal, you learn the song, and you go for it. It's not like
there's a rehearsal and everything.
Oh yeah, it's not like glorified karaoke. It's like they play in the key of the person. You got to have some skills. My boy Chris Porter, Kansas City comic, great comic dude. He killed Bob Seger and Joe Cocker to the point that I'm like, you could have another career.
90s?
They let him do whatever he wants because this dude like played in a band for real and is legitimately a musician. Like he strapped on the guitar and played.
Cool.
And it was cool, man. And then Neil Patrick Harris came out and sang The Killers and then jumped into the crowd and they carried him out of the room. And I was like, he became his character from How I Met Your Mother for like 5 minutes. But it's so funny. That dude was he's a Tony Award winning actor. He was on How I Met Your Mother for 9 years. Everybody still calls him Doogie Howser. Like he was on stage.
You can't shake that.
Everyone was chanting Doogie.
That is awesome.
That's amazing.
I'm like, you can't be in a room full of comics and it's the nickname thing. We bring it back around. Like, he can't shake it, dude. He can't shake Doogie. The guy has had so many accomplishments since. And even Barney is kind of like, he was teetering on another nickname. And Barney couldn't overtake Doogie, dude. No. Couldn't do it.
I'm glad it's not, I'm glad it's Doogie instead of like him in, what's the movie that was filmed in Missouri? Gone Girl, where he plays like, he gets murdered. Remember? Spoiler alert.
No, spoiler alert, man. I don't
know. I was about to
He
watch
gets all
that today.
cut up in the bed.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Don't
It's
kill
terrifying.
Doogie.
That's funny though. That is funny.
But yeah, man, it's a good festival. Austin is a cool town. I like it down there.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There's a reason that it's exploded, and everybody that had the money went
Yeah.
down there and jacked up the prices.
Yeah, a lot of health and wellness people, I've noticed. A lot of hot yoga people.
Hell yeah.
Like both ways. A lot of hot dudes, a lot of hot girls, a lot of health and wellness, ayahuasca, alternative psychedelic treatment stuff happening. I had 3 different people give me microdose capsules that are like, I'm a health and wellness. Here's a microdose. It'll actually help. You won't trip. You'll just have a really good time. And I'm like,
Oh,
wow, what if I already ate 4 of them?
you're to the moon.
It is its own little country.
And why are you a lizard?
It doesn't feel like Texas.
It's its own. It is. It's its own little thing, man.
It's California Part 2 now, right?
Well, it kind of feels like New York and LA at the same time in a way of like when you walk around at night, all the clubs are close together. Everything's in that little downtown area, and everything's walkable, and there's food trucks everywhere. Every corner, like you can eat on the street and eat really well. And that's how New York feels. And everything's walkable. But then if you want to go anywhere else in Austin, you got to get on the freeway, and that feels like LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like bumper to bumper to get anywhere else in town.
Yeah.
So it kind of has
Yeah, you're
the best and worst of both worlds.
You kind of go into a section and you're there for the day. Like you're not hopping around town.
Yeah.
It's not like St. Louis where you're 15 minutes from everywhere. You
Yeah.
got to make a choice.
Yep, you definitely make a choice.
But yeah, man, it was fun. Shows were good.
Good.
Had a blast, man. I'm still recovering, honestly.
Glad it was good.
That's awesome.
Glad to have you back. We all love our jobs, you know. Like I'm stoked to be here. I'm sure you guys are as well. And
Yeah.
I came across a whole bunch of stuff, and I want to get into like our jobs. But
Can I amend this real quick?
Yeah, go
Because I
ahead.
do need to talk to you guys about something.
Okay.
When I got back, post Moon Tower, because this is important to you and this is important to everyone in this room, we're hard on our airport. I got off the plane and realized there's a Peacemaker in the airport. And I took Peacemaker home, and I want to give props to Lambert a little bit. Because I took a flight where a lady had 2 children behind me who I'm not even sure she wanted to keep these kids because they were the most disruptive children I've ever had on a plane flight in my life. I'm pretty sure I have a legal case against one of these children for assault. This kid was like, just would not. Lady, if you're listening, it was to the point, guys, that the people in front of me were turning around. You know, when people start turning around, doing that passive-aggressive turnaround, to be
Right.
like, what's going on back there? There was like 3 rows up doing that because this kid was an animal. And like the lady's just like, stop it. Come on, please cut it out. Beating the hell out of her sister and then like whacked me on the head with a leapfrog and then crawled under my seat. I've never had a child crawl under a plane seat and was pushing up with their feet from underneath.
Oh.
I've had the back of my seat kicked before, but she was kicking me in the actual junk.
Did you have your spurs on?
And then she was like underneath, and I was like trying to get a picture because she was underneath and like taking her hands and like grabbing my pant legs and jerking on them. And I'm just like turning around looking at the mom, and she's like looking at her phone, and
You're
I'm
kidding.
like, the kid's under the seat, lady. Like, she's where we put our backpacks. Like,
Right.
So this kid was just terrorizing the flight, man. It was insane. I didn't say anything. I wanted to, but I was just like, man, I'm not looking to be a TikTok clip right now.
Well, speaking of TikTok, on a 14-hour flight, a young girl, apparently bored with her mom while napping, got her hand on a metal fork and randomly started stabbing fellow passengers.
Oh, it's probably this girl.
Terrorist in the making. Okay.
I think I met this girl.
The victim shouted out, "She randomly stabbed me with a fork!" and flagged down a flight attendant. The flight crew quickly stepped in, grabbed the fork from the kid, and woke up the mom, who was blissfully unaware. The aggrieved passenger then said, "I'm going to F her up. I'm going to smack the S out of her."
Wow.
The woman filming can be heard giggling as she's watching the scene unfold, so this is going viral. Quote, "Y'all laughing, but this is not okay." Somebody was yelling in the background. And then someone else screamed, "It's only a child, for crying out loud." Then somebody screamed, "Where's the parent who lets their kid randomly bother people?"
Yeah.
Who lets their kid randomly stab people?
Yeah, so you're not alone, man. It's a thing.
You met that kid. That's really neat.
It's a thing.
I will say, listen, I like kids in general. But parents, what are you doing? Like, there has to be, where's the threshold where we're allowed to say something? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Where I'm like, hey, man, your kid is a nightmare. And I understand you're dealing with this every day and you're probably immune to it, or maybe you just don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. But I was like, the kid was standing up, head over the seat to people, to me and the people behind us. The sister was crying because it was probably like a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. She had some Irish twin situation going on. It was a lot. She was by herself, and I get it. I have sympathy. She was traveling alone with 2 kids. But I was like, man. And the flight attendants even looked annoyed. But then we're like trying to play it cool. Like, you want to draw us the picture? And I'm like, the kids just started running stuff. You know, we really do. The kids run the show. And I was like, even the flight attendants weren't like, ma'am, you got to get your kids. Because they don't, I think everyone's so scared of being a video, a TikTok, that they're like, don't want to get involved. Because the lady in front of me was trying to work, and they were terrorizing her too. And I could see even her motherly empathy ended, where she was like, oh, this lady, I'm telling you what. I could see her like typing to her husband, like through her like message app, like, these kids behind me are insane.
Yeah,
and
what are
I'm
you going to
like,
do? I mean, you're going to scold the parent and start having a conversation with the mother?
It was just kind of, you know, can I be honest? I had a Riz moment where I stood up at the end of the flight, and I'm like, surely I've been cool. This lady, when we deboard, is going to say sorry.
Right.
Nah.
Not a word.
Made eye contact, waiting for my apology, for her to be like, hey, sorry, they're crazy. No, nothing. Like, she was laughing and egging it on, and
oh, man.
And she's playing like Simon Says with them. And the kid was having a meltdown I'm like, stop playing. What are you doing? She'd be like, okay, Simon Says touch your head. Simon Says touch your toes. Touch your knees. I didn't say Simon Says. The kid was like having a complete, just like meltdown, awesome. Screaming bloody murder if they lost it. Simon Says, I go, hey, lady, pick a different game. Give them an iPad. I'll buy them an iPad. I will buy them I was so upset that I was like, I will buy them an iPad. When they brought the drinks around, I was like, put some NyQuil in there. Knock these kids out.
What a bummer.
That should be allowed, actually.
Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that.
Peacemaker made it right. Lobster roll made it right at the end.
Ooh, yeah.
We're getting there, dude. I saw people walking around the airport a little happier, dude. There was people at Peacemaker enjoying like some good seafood, and I took it home, and it was good. It was like quality. It was a little more expensive, but good. There was a lot of people carrying Shake Shack around, looking pretty happy. I mean,
all right.
It's not great, but it's better than it was. So at least Lambert's, you know, trying to do something.
That's awesome.
We'll take what we can. We'll take what we can. Well, I was really debating on whether I should tell the story or not, because this is something that I would probably not share. But then I was thinking, you know what, man? We just talked about this in the emails. Mm-hmm. We just talked about this maybe fewer than 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was the one that was like, that's not possible. There's no way. And let me tell you about my Easter weekend. Everything was fine. I was a little bit bummed about the storms and everything, and I wanted to spend some more time outside, but it was what it was. And we went to Easter service, you know, the kids, and then they split off and went to work, and we were going to go get some food. We were kind of probably, 20 minutes from home, and we're just going, and my wife and I are talking about Punk Rock Disney coming up, and we're discussing some ideas for different songs and segues, and she's showing me a song. She's like, oh, maybe you'll be inspired by this, and she's kind of explaining as it's going, and I got real silent suddenly. And she said, what's going on? You seem like you're not focused. And I said, oh, I'm focused. And she said, on what?
Oh, no. What?
I was hyper-focused suddenly because I thought I was going to let one go.
Wait, a toot or?
I thought.
Yeah.
Are you going to crap yourself?
Oh, you were visited by the liquid shadow.
We just talked about this months ago.
Oh, no.
Or weeks ago. Somebody emailed in and said something about, like since you're an adult.
My fart got a shadow.
Yeah, you poo yourself once every couple years or something like that. And I said, I haven't done that since I was in diapers or since I was a kid. Like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
You signed your date with destiny, my man.
And remember, people were talking about the ass napkin and like just in case and this and that.
What was it? The leaves, right? Putting leaves in the gutter.
Yeah, the leaves in the gutter and all these things. And people called in and they emailed in about how it happens once a year on the job site or this or that. So I felt it my responsibility today to apologize to anybody that I may have offended when I said that just doesn't happen to adults, because
Wow.
it happened.
And now you're known as the Shadow.
So I've earned a new nickname.
This is Easter too, right?
This was Easter, right after service, on the way home. Everything was fine. I haven't eaten
Man,
anything weird.
he be
Who in
ishin'.
Belgium?
Yo, it was devastating. And my wife thought it
Stinky.
was hysterical.
Where now? What? Set the scene for me. Like, set it up.
So, all right.
Put me in the room.
Give
with
us
you.
a road.
We're driving
Put me
on,
in the room with you guys.
we're driving on the highway.
Oh, we're in a car.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just my wife and
A
I.
dumpy car, nice
that
car.
helps.
The kids have now split off because they're going to work and other things. So it's just me and her, and we're talking through some music, and she's showing me this song, and I just said, I'm sorry, I can't focus. And she said, what's wrong with you? What's going on? And I was just like, 10 and 2 like this, going, I didn't know what to do. I thought it
This
was
is post or pre?
Oh, this was this was post. I thought it was just a simple
Right.
squeeze out a,
Right.
Little
Yeah.
cute something.
and it was one of the most frightening experiences in my life.
Oh, jeez.
And I didn't know what to do, so I thought if
Now,
I
is
don't,
this a throw your underwear away situation?
100%,
Yeah.
Or,
Oh.
100%.
okay. You're in big trouble.
This
my man.
was. Did I just lose my favorite pair of jeans?
Right.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It was,
dang.
It was one of those.
Were
I'm glad you
they
did it.
white ones?
No, they were black ones, but which thank goodness.
It humbles you, right? I mean, it has to.
Clearly. And I was, well, at first I was like, do I even tell her? And then I said, okay, yeah, of course I got to tell her. This is hysterical.
Because
I think she probably knew. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. She may have guessed. I don't know. Like I said, I was in such shock and such, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
What's that
Right.
smell? Dookie.
That mud popping.
Yeah, so it took the next stop out of the schedule for sure. And I was like, how do I get home? I'm 15 or 20 minutes from home.
Oh, at least
got-
you were that.
Yeah, I was only 15 or 20 minutes. Thank goodness.
Oh, you got to do a home cleanup. I thought you were going to have to go to a Love's and pour
No.
windshield wiper
Did you
fluid
waddle
down the back of
inside,
your
or did you
pants.
disrobe in the garage?
To tell you the truth, I may have floated. I'm not really sure. I think I waddled. I don't remember. It
There's a
was
trail that shows us exactly where you went in your house.
kind
tell
of
you
blocked
what.
out. And I spent the last 24 hours thinking, there's no way I'm going to tell anybody this. There's no way I'm going to tell anybody. And here I am telling the entire world. And why is because of those emails. and
Awareness.
Because I thought, you know what, our job is important. Because we're sharing our lives, we're being honest, we're being forthcoming, we're talking about our weaknesses, we're talking about our strengths, we're talking about whatever, our experiences, our difficulties.
Plus, she's in her 40s now, and it's coming. And she claims it's never happened, it's the only thing I
It's never happened to you?
fear
Yeah, I
she's
haven't
ever
proved
lied to me
myself
about.
yet.
Well,
Well, I know it's coming.
I
have
was the second to
IBS.
last one.
It's definitely probably
There
sooner
is
than
no
later.
way anyone with her amount of stomach issues and anxiousness is not gonna get caught in a kill box.
The only way that it won't happen is that I am fully prepared at all times for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always have my stomach meds. Like, I always have Pepto or Tums. I always know where the bathroom is. I have no qualms with, like, making a scene and running out of the place. Like,
That wasn't my issue, though. I mean,
you let one go. And also, I don't just let one rip.
What do you mean? How do you test it?
the fart closet.
I go into my fart closet at home. I don't fart around my husband. I mean, let me say this. I do fart around him, but he doesn't know. Like this morning, I was like, boop, 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 like I was letting things rip, but he's dead asleep.
It could have happened in any one of those instances.
I know. But it won't happen. But that's what I'm saying.
It happens when you least
She just said
expect
it
it.
won't happen.
It is going to
cursed
happen.
Mark the
It's a
clock.
curse. No,
Wheel out the poop clock.
April
Mark
21st.
the time.
no.
6:49.
A
You
date with
has
destiny
declared.
has been signed at 6:49 a.m.
Sealed it, dude.
I don't
on
wanna
Easter
crap
Monday,
myself.
April 21st, 2025. Learn Elwell signed a date
You
with the
are
devil.
Screwed, dude.
No.
Yes, it happened to me within a month.
Listen, I know I will. I know, but not today. Not today. You know? Give me
Destiny
some time.
found me in under 4 weeks.
You're 44.
44.
I got some time.
What? Oh. It's happening to all these other people in their 20s and 30s. They were emailing in like, yeah, this happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things.
When the
It's
shadow
like a steel
falls on your
trap down there.
undies.
It really is.
I believe that.
Okay.
but the O-rings get loose, and
I don't want it
eventually
to
the
happen.
shadow creeps in. It's high noon in your underwear.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Congratulations, because now
Thanks,
that's out
man.
of the way, right? Now we can just move on. And
Yeah,
you don't
Yeah,
have to
I'm
worry about
actually,
that.
I'm actually weirdly proud of you, man.
For
It's weird to
admitting
say
or
to a
for
friend.
this happening?
Just that it happened.
I'm really bummed. And you know what? I told my son yesterday because he said something about his stomach hurt, and he's like, oh, man, I felt like I could go any minute. And I said, well, son, it's funny you say that. 10 hours ago, I did that. And he goes, no way. He goes, oh, no, which underwear? Because he's on the nice underwear tip now. Like, he understands, like, good quality
Did you
underwear.
say it was his?
And I was like, no, it's my nice Tommy Johnson. He's like, oh, no, what a bummer. He was so bummed for me.
What about the jeans? Did they survive the crisis?
They went straight in the wash by themselves, and I'm wearing them right now. So, yes.
Okay,
they're-
so
Whoa.
You're wearing your
What's up?
danglers?
I checked. I had to
dude.
check.
You wore your poop jeans to sit in Riz's chair.
Immediately.
He is not
Yeah.
gonna
I was like,
He
yo, I
is
got to air
not
these
gonna-
out.
He is not going to like hearing that the last time you wore the pants that you put on his chair directly where you pooped in them last
I
time
washed
you had
them
on.
twice on the heavy soil level by themselves.
hell yeah.
I mean, I figured that's what that button's for, right? Soil
Yeah.
level, it was heavy.
Good for you, man.
Are they Guess?
Thanks. Nah, they're Levi's, old classics, which I feel are the best prepared for this particular scenario. I feel
Well,
like
that's-
Levi's have been.
If you see people wearing Levi's, you know what's happening. They're the kind that always blow out.
Is that what that means? Okay, good to know.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate the.
Congratulations, Moon. That's incredible.
Oh, thank you. I
That's
appreciate
neat.
the warm.
Especially on Easter.
Yeah, that's great.
Glad the service moved you.
I feel. Yes, the Easter sermon moved me.
Kind of, your beehole rolled the stone away, if you will.
I do feel a lot lighter now.
Your colon rolled away the stone and ascended.
Oh my gosh. So I felt it necessary because I do feel a responsibility with this job to to talk about our lives, even the stuff that we normally would not share or people typically
Or that they
probably-
wouldn't want to know, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Hey, this is what
I'm
we're
sure.
about.
I'm sure some people tuned out. They're like, cool, more of this. I'm sure my mother's very excited to hear about this. But
Actually, I think she called in.
right, I'm so proud of you, son.
My God.
So I came across this whole article about people being asked if they feel like their job is meaningful. People were asked, do you feel like your job has a meaningful impact on the world? Or do you think it's totally pointless, just a means to an end? We all in agreement here that we have an important job, right?
It depends on the day. Some days I feel like, oh yeah, we are the escape. We get people out of their heads, whatever, keep people informed on funny stuff. You know, hopefully that's what we're doing. But then on some other days I'm going like, we get paid to be ourselves on a radio station.
Yeah,
like
and make
that's
penis
sometimes
jokes.
and make penis jokes. Like depending on the day, I can have like a, oh yeah, this is the best forever. What a great job. And then what a dumb job. It depends on the day.
I think you're totally right, and all those things are true at the same time. I mean, I think this is it's such a blessing. It's such a cool thing. It's such a ridiculous thing when you break it down to some of the details. But I think that for us, or in any job like us, I feel like it's easy to find meaning in it because we're constantly getting feedback. Now, granted, 99.8% of the feedback is your nasty emails and your ridiculous, you offended me in this way and that way. But when we're out in person, what is it? It's 100% positive. It's people coming up and saying, hey, thank
98.
you. Thank you so much for saying this. That really helped me through this. Or you guys just lighten the mood on my tough job in the mornings or whatever it may be. We're getting a lot of feedback. I think a lot of people have jobs that don't get feedback.
Yeah, we're very well. Yeah, I'll take the good, even though we do get also the bad feedback.
Yeah, and that's okay.
That's all right. This sharpens us up.
So everybody, you guys feel like it's a meaningful gig?
Yeah, today I feel like what we do is meaningful. Ask me on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Let me get through a week.
Well, I feel
Think
like
it's
my
that.
story was very meaningful.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, it is.
Especially today. I mean, we just found out the Scattican just voted in the new poople.
The Scatticans got a new poop.
Right there.
And new nicknames abound.
He was in the poop mobile when it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Here's some
But there was no protective bubble for Mallory to keep her safe.
Nope.
No, she was not safe at all. Well, a new poll found that Americans do feel like their job has meaning. 62% said yes. 18% are not sure, and 20% feel like they're just keeping a chair warm. College grads were more likely to think that their job does make a difference. So were people with classic office jobs that involve meetings and emails. So if your job doesn't involve those two things, there is a 31% chance that you feel like you're just spinning your wheels to earn a paycheck. So, you know, is what it is.
It is kind of strange that, you know, and this is probably a cliche, if you're not self-employed or you do something that is like a creative art or something like that where you are making money on it, like, you know, the old, like by the time you die and your job posting is up before your obituary is. Because a lot of people are like, hey man, don't make your job your life, because you know, if you pass away tomorrow, they're going to have your job, the place you work for is going to be looking for your replacement before you're even in the ground. And like, that's kind of a bleak thing to think about, but it is kind of true. Because I mean, people have to, the show must go on, you know, whatever business you're running. So I wonder how people feel about that do good work, but feel like they work inside the, you know, the machinations of a larger corporation. If that's harder to feel worth, or if, you know, it depends on company culture, I would imagine, how people feel valued.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. And, you know, you talk about like the importance of the meaning in the work, you know, I'm sure. I mean, that's become pretty clear that that's an important thing. Because, I mean, I feel like a lot of times our parents were just like, hey, get a good job, and then retire. And that was it. It was more of a means to an end. It really had less to do about meaning. And I think more so now we're all talking about and thinking about meaning. Maybe you wake up super early. You're like, that's what's kind of taking it out of you. I found a system. And it's going to cost $150 after a study found that waking up to a little sunlight can make a difference, but you need automatic curtains to do it right. Who's in for this?
Yes.
I mean, not us. We get up when it's dark.
Yeah,
so.
it doesn't count for us. But
But you know what they have? We have an alarm clock at our house. Tim has like a sunshine clock that it looks like natural light.
Really?
Yeah, so he will set it, and then it will slowly get brighter and brighter and brighter, and it has like a daylight setting that it's similar to sunshine.
Whoa, that's kind of cool.
It's kind of neat.
Well, that's how I do. My alarm is like birds, but the problem is these freaking birds are the exact same birds that we have in Missouri. So when I'm trying to sleep in on Saturday and those bastards are going off on Saturday morning, I panic. I'm thinking that my alarm is going off.
Yeah, you need new birds. Too.
Exact same birds.
Yeah.
Have you tried this? It's on the iPhone. It's like a natural wake up thing.
Yes.
And
I haven't done it, but I know what you're talking
It
about.
helps my wife because it starts off really, really quiet and then gradually gets louder. And it sounds like natural birds. So she doesn't recognize it as her alarm and thinks it's just birds, so stays asleep. And then as soon as I hear a bird chirp, I'm out of bed, panicking. These researchers in Japan, though, found out that we wake up less groggy and more alert if we let a little sun exactly 20 minutes before the alarm. Opening your curtains after you're up doesn't do it. So unless you're waking up right after dawn, leaving them open all night can actually make things worse. They found that 20 minutes before your alarm is the sweet spot. So automatic curtains are the only practical solution for most people. So you basically put your curtains on an alarm. You can buy gadgets now for about $150 to $200 that work on a timer and make your existing curtains automatic. And the study found that sunrise alarm clocks that use artificial light do not work as well. Natural sunlight is obviously the best. But I'm still curious. You said that's a clock, or
it looks like it's a circle, and it has like a light, and then has a little clock at the bottom. I'll have to find out the brand, but yeah, and you set it, and it slowly gets lighter, and it has sound effects and things.
That's pretty cool.
And he uses that?
Yeah, he uses it.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. Well, speaking of...
Can't trust it, man.
What?
You don't like that?
I need the panic of a submarine full alert alarm.
Well, same. Yeah.
I need to feel the shot of adrenaline in my heart that I might waking up from some sort of weird, sweaty dream state. I can't trust it. I'm afraid that it's too comforting.
It's too nice.
The birds.
I'm just like, it'll just get incorporated into my dream, and then I'll wake up at 7 a.m. with texts from Riz. No, thank you.
Well, hey, we can all agree that being a police officer is meaningful work.
Oh, dude, I watched a movie this weekend. Have you guys seen The Order?
No, what's that?
This is the new Jude Law movie about 1980s with like all these white supremacy groups.
Okay.
Like based on true story. Mark Maron's actually in it. Plays a radio disc jockey who did get murdered by the
Jeez.
Klan. I don't know what we were watching it on. I think it might be HBO Max. Great movie on just a part of our history and what can happen and what police officers and FBI agents have to go through. Excellent movie. Jude Law is incredible in it.
The Order.
The Order.
All right.
I'm ready
Highly
for this one.
suggest.
That's
well,
awesome.
as important as police work can be, these guys won't be doing it anymore. 13 police officers in Montana caught playing crime bingo while on duty.
Oh no.
When I say crime bingo, what do you guys assume?
They have a bingo card
Yep.
and it's like pulling over for indecent exposure or
Jaywalker.
marijuana or whatever.
Yep, they were filling in squares for things like do a search warrant on a car. Here's the Bozeman Police Chief, Jim Veldkamp, talking about the game. Check this out. These guys are in trouble.
2 teams of patrol officers were engaged in a bingo competition where success in the game hinged on whether they engaged in actions listed on the bingo card. Then they filled in squares of things that they wanted to see happen or have happen in order to check off that box on the bingo card. So an example of one of those was to do a search warrant on a car, which in and of itself, that is part of their duties. The concern is if they manipulated anything in order to be able to search a car.
Here's some more people that might be out of a job.
I watched the opposite of her movie this weekend in the hotel room. I watched Copland late at night
Heck yeah.
because I was in the hotel room and it was on. What a stinker. And man, so many good people in it.
I remember, I thought it was
Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro. And I'm like, this movie should be amazing. And it was just not. It was just okay.
good. That's funny. I saw it probably early 2000, whenever it came out. And
That was like the whole thing was like they were all cops that moved across the bridge and like started a little town where all the cop families lived, but they were all crooked. And I'm like, great premise. And Stallone was like the cop of the cop town.
Is he the one? Is that the one where he gained like 100 pounds?
Yeah, he gained a bunch of weight and he was like deaf in one ear. He couldn't go to the police academy because he was, it was basically Rocky. Rocky's a cop.
He's a
I
cop.
mean, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like,
Rocky
they just
couldn't
called it
box
Rocky
and
9.
therefore-
Now I'm a cop.
Okay.
Rocky 9, a capo creed.
Well, on Thursday in Lexington, Massachusetts, they unveiled a new arch to commemorate their 250th anniversary of the Revolutionary War's start. They roll out this 15-foot high arch, and they were going to put, I guess it's like this big commemorative thing that they were going to have in the town. And I think somebody might have lost a job over this because as they're rolling it out, the 15-foot arch top, the entire top, fell off and broke into pieces. And you got to hear the audio. There's nothing funnier than like when everything goes from cheers to groans, because this is full-on cartoony groan.
Which is why we're inspired to have the structure. Everyone will get a piece of the souvenir arch to take home with them. How important is that?
Yeah, she came in with that, but that was like 3 minutes
that's
after all the groaning ended.
well, good way to.
Still, props. Good joke.
Great line.
Yeah.
Good line.
Great line.
Great way to break the tension. That lady did a good job.
You guys were talking about movies and everything. You were watching it in the hotel. You were watching it at home on TVs, I presume?
Yeah.
How many screens do you think you have in your house? I want you to think about it.
Okay.
There's a TikTok mom that's going viral right now. She was counting up all the gadgets that her family has with screens. And I want you to listen to this audio because as you do, it seems insane. And then you start thinking about your own screens. So I ask you this, how many screens do you have in your home? Listen to this gal.
My 2-year-old's iPad, my 5-year-old's iPad and his AAC, my 7-year-old's iPad, my 10-year-old's iPad and his iPhone, my iPad, my iPhone and my Switch, and my watch, and my MacBook, my husband's iPad, my husband's iPhone and his watch. Each of the 2 older boys have a PS5. My husband has an Xbox Series X and a PC. We have 9 TVs throughout the entire house. And the only time we limit screen time is Monday through Thursday.
So she was talking about devices too. So not just screens, but the Xbox, the PC.
Yeah, those aren't handheld, right? Switch is handheld, so that's technically a screen, but
Yeah, the Xbox and the PlayStation and all that. So add up all the devices. Now, this gal and her husband have 4 kids,
27.
2, 5, 7, and 10. You have 27?
no, that was my guess on hers. All the stuff she just said, I think it was like 27.
Well, she was counting screens, TVs, Apple Watches. Her grand total was 24 screens in their home. Almost half of them were TVs. Somehow they have 9. Both adults and all 4 kids have their own iPad, even the 2-year-old, and her 5-year-old has a second one for speech therapy, so 7 tablets total.
Wow.
She counted 2 Apple Watches, 2 computers, 3 iPhones, and a Nintendo Switch, a total of 24 different screens and an average of 4 per person. How many do you have? Because
8.
it sounds insane.
I have 8.
I don't have as many rooms as she has
Yeah,
devices.
it's a big house.
8 total, including Apple Watches and all
Yeah.
that.
So I got living room TV, bedroom TV, Tim's phone, my phone, Tim's iPad, my computer, his computer, and then my Apple Watch.
Okay, maybe
That's 8.
she does seem insane. What about you?
Yeah, I think we have, let's see, 2 Apple Watches, 2 phones, and then there's, let's see, here's 7, because we have 3 screens, so 7. There's 3 computers. There might be 4 computers, 11. And I don't know, we're about...
And
probably,
Xbox?
About, Xbox, there's that too. And then I got an iPad, so probably around 14, 15.
Dang. Yeah, so 14, 15, 8, those are,
Yeah.
7.
I would say probably normal. 7.
2 phones, 2 laptops, 2 TVs, and a Switch.
Maybe it's when you throw the kids in and it starts getting crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because the kids each have their own television.
I haven't turned my bedroom TV on in a year.
Really? You don't watch TV in your bedroom?
We did when not really. Not really. I usually listen to a podcast when I
that.
go to sleep. I do. Occasionally we will if we're having like a lazy day in bed or something like that. But I just feel like we haven't had that in a long time. We'll just go lay on the couch and watch TV.
I'm very much a TV on comfort person to fall asleep.
Me too.
Like I need to have something. Like I told Tim last night, I've been falling asleep on the couch a lot lately, just staying out there with him while he watches stories and stuff. And to me, that's like a simple comfort that, you know, I don't know if it reminds me of being a kid, like getting picked up on the couch by your dad and carried into your bedroom, you know, when you fell asleep or something. It's kind of similar to that. I feel like I've been doing that since the 80s.
Yeah.
Or something.
Tim carries you into bed
Tim
every
carries
night?
me into bed. Yeah, he swoops me up and he
that's so
throws me
awesome.
in there. Yeah.
He does for real?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh.
He'll do it sometimes.
That's pretty rad.
I heard someone
That's
say.
awesome,
I heard somebody say one time they hoped that that's what dying feels like, and I thought that was kind of beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Like being carried to bed by your parents when you were a kid, when you fell asleep.
Yeah,
on the
because you'd
couch.
wake up a little bit and be like, nah, I'm going to act like I'm still
You
sleeping.
just kind of wake up and you're in
I know.
bed.
Yeah. It's awesome.
All right, well, let's do a few good news stories that are making the rounds right before we close up and go to break. The Orlando Bomb Squad did an Easter egg hunt for visually impaired kids. They built special eggs that made a beeping sound so they could find them.
That's
the event
awesome.
was inspired by a first responder's daughter who is visually impaired. Very, very cool. America's oldest serving astronaut. I had no idea about this. Got a pretty good birthday gift this weekend. Donald Pettit returned home from the space station yesterday. Dude turned 70.
Wow.
He was up there for 7 months. That's wild. A guy named Mitchell O'Brien got swallowed by sand at a beach. Yes, I said swallowed by sand at a beach.
Quicksand?
Quicksand. The
I don't like
nightmare
this.
of all 80s children.
Oh.
It happened to this dude on Lake Michigan last weekend. Turned into an unlikely love story. He was walking with his best friend, a coworker named Brianne Sicca. The beach swallowed this guy just like quicksand. He was buried up to his waist. You got to see the picture. I mean, he is sitting there, and it looks like high tide is going to come in and cover him up. They both called 911, and at the exact same time, she referred to him as her boyfriend, and he said his girlfriend was also trying to call. It turned out they both had a crush on each other for 2 years. Firefighters showed up and pulled Mitchell out. He and Brianne are now officially an item. Check this out.
Way to go.
I thought we needed help instantly. He was very good at reassuring that he would get out of there and that he was okay.
The sand was just getting put back almost faster than I could get it out of the way.
To me, those moments were terrifying, honestly, just to see somebody you care about in a situation.
I referred to her as my girlfriend that's trying to call as well. At the exact same time, she got through to another operator and said, my boyfriend is stuck in the sand.
2 years of this guy being my best friend and just trying to hide everything, how I felt, and
Listen to this.
then he tried to die on me. and becomes my boyfriend in the middle of it.
Then he tried to die on me.
He tried to die on me.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to get out of the
Hold on.
friend zone.
Everything was totally normal until it says it like
Did
that.
this guy create a quicksand trap?
Dude,
Did-
let me show you the picture. Pull up the picture of this quicksand guy, because he is to his belt at the. Look at this. I mean, that looks fake. I don't know how he did that.
And then he said,
New fear unlocked.
then he
Yeah.
said, what? We want to take it to the next level?
Yeah,
Like, how did this happen? We got to explore this for a
Well,
minute here.
when you are getting swallowed by quicksand,
Yeah.
you know, your life is flashing in front of you.
Dude, imagine holding the rope.
Dude, it's like never-ending story with the horse.
I got to tell you, I've been in love with you for 2
For
years.
you.
And I really think we'd be good together. Like, you're everything to me. I love you. And she's like, I really like you as a friend. And he just lets go of the rope. He just lets go of the rope. And then he does the Terminator thumbs up as he disappears
getting
into
gone.
all the
sand.
movies, all the '80s tropes, the quicksand, the Artax,
And
all of it.
Yeah, it just becomes
Artax, that's right.
That's the friend zone pit. When you get friend zoned, you walk into the pit.
The lesson learned is quicksand is real.
Yeah,
And that's why you should keep a whip on you at all times.
That's right.
100% right.
The Team Riz member of the day, brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill, the official bar of the sports bar of the Rizzuto Show and home to St. Louis sports since 1990, is Chelsea Christ.
Yeah, Chelsea.
From Troy, Illinois. Chelsea's been a Riz Show listener since the very beginning, has attended multiple Riz Show events with her husband over the years. She loves the camaraderie on the show, along with the weekly segments and games like Crap on Celebrities, Simpleton Trivia, and Match Up with Moon.
It is just a game, what I'm doing over
Just
here.
a game, that crap. The Riz Show always provides Chelsea with much-needed entertainment, and her son is also a huge fan of the show, especially King Scott's headline goo.
Yeah.
Chelsea Christ
taste.
is the Team Riz member of the day. All right, the time is 7:12. Woo! Morning is flying on this fine Monday, April 21st. Here is Lauren with some traffic and weather.
And it's brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. We have a crash southbound 170 before 40. The left lane is closed there. Also, the left shoulder closed, so might want to take an alternate route there. Stalled vehicle southbound 270 at 70. All lanes are open, but just be aware. Your point weather today, 66 as the high, 48 as the low. Right now, it's 54 degrees, and your point weather is brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning, more reliable than your St. Louis weather.
All right, Lauren, what do you got?
Dave is out of his girl hole. Keanu Reeves is getting his dream role as the villain. What is Jennifer Aniston afraid of? And it's Guitar Week, which I didn't know. So what are the top 10 best guitarists? I have a list. We'll see if it's right. We'll trash this list next.
It's wrong.
All right, backstage at Point Fest, and for the first time playing our fantastic festival, a rock and roll band that we have come to like quite a bit in the last 6 to 9 months. Gentlemen, it's great to see you from Bad Flower. Welcome to St. Louis and welcome to Point Fest. It's
Thank
great
you
to have
very
you
much.
here.
It's great to be here.
So I want
Talking into the fart mics.
talking into the fart mics, absolutely. The first thing that I just want to kind of cut straight to it. The song "Promise Me" we're playing right now,
Oh, cool,
and I
good.
love it.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it. When we play it, I honestly feel like it jumps out of the speakers and just, I don't know, man. I think it just sounds great, but it definitely sounds different than the first two singles before it. I'm assuming that was a purposeful move on you guys' part.
I think if it was up to me, Promise Me would have been the first single. But there were tactics involved and as to why we went and did it in the order that we did. And I'm glad that we did it in the order that we did because
Woods Basement Systems, the all things basement, the experts serving our area, all the St. Louis area, Springfield, Illinois, and everywhere in between since 1986. Family owned, and their family has been serving ours, like I said, our entire community, but ours as well. not just what the basement needs either. Of course, it's a nasty, wet spring already. And maybe your basement, I probably have a half a dozen friends with basements that were fine last year but are not fine this year. They've had leaking, humidity's been coming through, or just downright flooding. And of course, they are calling Woods Basement Systems the All Things Basement experts for all their basement needs. But for us, beyond that, we found out that they did concrete leveling, and MoDOT and IDOT actually call them to raise highway slabs when they need it. So I had them in to fix my front porch. They raised it, they installed piers, and now it's fixed for good, because these kind of problems with your home, they don't get better with time. They get better with Woods. There is a special offer waiting for you for any of these projects at moonloveswoods.com. Go to the website, moonloveswoods.com. For Point listeners, a special offer from Woods Basement Systems, the all things basement experts, at moonloveswoods.com.
Backstage at Point Fest, and I'm completely honored to be joined by Ed from Live. This is one of my childhood dreams, to always talk to you every time you're in town.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Been following you. I was telling your tour manager, I've been following you guys since, and I'm sorry if nobody out there cares, but I'm going to walk down memory lane with you. MTV 120-minute tour, Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Shrine Mosque, I think is what it was.
I think so. It was our first tour.
That was your first tour?
Yeah.
Because, you guys were like, talk about just being with the guys you grew up with. You guys were like 12 at the time or something.
Yeah, we started the band when we were 13, coming out of 8th grade into high school. And that tour you mentioned, that was 1992. So that was our first road experience with Public Image Limited and Big Audio Dynamite and Blind Melon.
Yeah, that was amazing, and that's one of those. That's like obviously the first time I saw you, but even more creepy. I have a Public Affection CD.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. There aren't too many of those around.
Is there no restraining order just yet on that?
No. Somebody did try. Somebody tried to they put it up on one of the streaming sites as Public Affection. I'm like, hey, that's our band.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
Wait a minute, you can't do that.
You got enough of that stuff going on all the time anyway, with so many records out and everything, and now new music, and you guys are here in St. Louis. Talk about touring again and still doing it after, 25 years of Throwing Copper, one of my all-time faves. It's still fun for you, right?
It's so much fun. We're just kicking this year off. We've been back now. We took a long break there, and break/breakup. Right. And this is the third year we've been out. The first year we did a bunch of festivals. Last year we did a great tour with Counting Crows.
Yep, been here. I was buddies.
There. And then, we're kicking off this year right now. This is really the first couple shows we've done this year. And then we're out with Bush and Our Lady Peace starting June 6th.
That's going to be an amazing tour as well, and I can't wait to see that. I'm going to go somewhere and see that. Talk about the difference now as opposed to 20, 25, even 30 years ago touring. What's the same now and what is different now?
Well, we're older.
Right, yeah.
Are we? Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And so, I think the pace is less crazy, by design, just because we all have kids. I think there's 13 kids between the four of us.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot of love there, though.
And then they're all graduating from, a bunch of them are graduating from high school and all this kind of stuff. So we're, we pace it out. Of course, summer's really busy, but I would say that's the biggest difference. We don't, when in the early 90s, mid 90s, it was nothing for us to be out 9 months of a year.
Sure, yeah.
And going to Europe from here or there, and so that slowed down a little bit. But it's funny because when we came back in 2016-17, the demand for the band was so huge that we were it felt like we were just right back to playing, on these big festival stages. And a lot of these venues we're familiar with. The names have changed, but here we are. And so that's been amazing to see the fan response and just the response overall to the band and how important it still is to so many people. It's awesome.
Well, the fact that you guys have been together for so long, was it really easy to pick it right back up? Was it just, boom,
It pretty much was. We did our first show back. We hadn't played together 6 or 7 years, and that was a little nerve-wracking, the first one back. But it was really fun. But we were all kind of out of it. We were all just are we really doing this?
Yeah.
But that didn't last. Within a few shows, we were just riding a bike. We have such a great chemistry, and our friendship, I think, is a lot stronger now than even it was back then.
Well, you know what? I just saw it for everybody who wasn't here. I just saw it in the meet and greet. you guys stood, talked, shook hands, took pictures and everything. I can tell, and I'm one of those guys that loves bands because they love their fans, and I can tell it's genuine with you guys.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a very, very special thing because they're the reason why you guys are still doing this.
You ain't kidding. Yeah, that's the reason, and that's one of the things I think about our band that has served us really well is that we've been like that since the beginning. Like it's all about that relationship with the fans. It's all about getting up on stage and playing it like it's the last one you're ever going to play every night, and just leaving it all up there so that people really get, hopefully, an experience they take with them.
Absolutely.
That's the goal. And if we don't get there, we really beat ourselves up. We're really focused on the show and making sure it's as good as we can make it.
That's one of the things that I've always loved about you guys. You leave everything on the stage. Hopefully you guys are here seeing them and then watching this later. Ed from Live, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Backstage at Point Fest, and this is, I gotta say, of all of the interviews.
Victory Men's Health. Guys, let's talk about it. Daddy's back from Austin. And, man, I partied all weekend long, and I was like, man, I was dancing my little buns off to these live music performances at all the comedian after parties, and I was like, man, I'm dancing around like I'm in my 20s again. Feeling good. My joints felt good. Some friends took video of me. I was pretty light-footed out there. I was getting some air on a lot of my jumps. I even crowd surfed, and they held my big ass up because I'm a few pounds lighter, and I completely contribute that to Victory Men's Health, taking care of me for the last couple years that I've been on the show. Because when you go to Victory, they stay on you, and they follow and track your progress for the treatments that they provide for you. It's like having your own little personal cheerleader that's in your corner, lighting a fire under your butt to do the things that you need to do to get your health back in order. And it's easy to get an appointment because there's 4 locations, so there's got to be one near you. There's one in Echo Fallon. There's one in Town and Country that Moon and King Scott and I go to, and there's one in Sunset Hills, and they just added cardiovascular testing to the arsenal of tests that they have to make sure that your health is on point as a man. So wherever you are, there's one near you. Don't wait. Schedule an appointment today. It's worth it, man. Go to Victory Men's Health. Schedule an appointment right now. Stop what you're doing. Go to victorymenshealth.com. That's victorymenshealth.com.
Yeah, I gotta say once again, thanks to Herb Equipment for bringing some toys up here to Riz Farm. And we gotta do some mulching. So Mike and Chad here brought a tractor with them. And check this out. It says Captain Riz on the side. All right, so we're going to use this to get the mulch from and it's going to go into the trailer. So I don't know how to use this thing. So who's going to show me how to operate this fine piece of machinery?
I got you covered, Riz. This is a 3046R John Deere 46 horsepower tractor. Hop on in, man. I can give you a little rundown of everything.
Where's the air conditioner?
That's as fast as you go. It's as the wind in your hair.
Okay.
Hey, the first thing you got to do is give it a crank over.
Happy birthday, Riz. It's David Keckner, and you're listening to The Rizzuto Show right here on 105.7 The Point. Do you get it?
Welcome back to The Rizzuto Show. Riz is off today. Scheduled day off. Nothing wrong, no problem, no issues, no worries.
Totally cool.
That's right. We are totally cool. And we're holding down the fort. He'll be back tomorrow. We do have some tickets to give away, a pair of tickets to give away for the Mastodon show at the factory, Social D at the pageant, some tickets to Point Fest, and a ticket to, or a pair of tickets to the next Battlehawks home game against the
Yeah,
the Michigan
Trailblazer
Panthers. Trail Panthers. That's right. We do have tickets for that. We'll get into a game later. But first, how about some random facts and a little back in the day, and we'll jump into some crap on celebritize. If you're a nervous flyer, this isn't going to help. The Savannah Hilton Head International Airport in Georgia has 2 graves embedded in the runway. 2 other graves are next to it. The land was previously a private family cemetery, and they just decided to leave these people there.
Huh.
Rest in peace while jumbo jets roll over you 1,000 times a day.
That's a cool airport. You ever been through the Savannah
Would you
airport?
want to be in it forever?
I don't know if I'd want to be entombed in it, but it's a nice airport.
Well,
if I got to pick an
cool
airport, it's top
consolation.
5.
I don't think I've been.
Imagine being at Lambert. Imagine Lambert out there where they built a runway for $80 million that doesn't work, and you're under it.
Savannah. I don't know if I've ever been to that
I'm
airport.
not sure I have either.
Oh, it's cute AF.
Really?
Oh, Lord, it's the cutest airport I've ever been in.
Well, it's haunted as well. The first ever comic book convention was in New York in 1964. Guess who the very first person to buy a ticket was? 16-year-old George R.R. Martin.
Oh, wow.
The author of the Game of Thrones books.
Of course.
Cher has the record for the longest amount of time in between her first and last #1 hits. I Got You, Babe was #1 in August 65, and Believe was #1 33 and a half years later, April of 99. What were you saying, Rafe?
The moment's passed.
All righty.
Oh. I had a good George R.R. Martin joke, but we've moved on.
Oh, no,
Let's
we
go.
haven't.
I was just going to say 16 years old is when he started writing the book he's still working on.
Yeah. The one that hasn't been finished yet?
That's facts.
Meerkats are more likely to kill each other than any other mammal. Almost 20% of meerkats are killed by members of the same species. More nickels were made in 1964 than any other year. People were hoarding them because they mistakenly thought that they were made of silver. So the U.S. Mint increased production. About 3 billion nickels wound up being made that year. Today is April 21st. Back in the day, 189 years ago in 1836, an army of white Americans led by Sam Houston defeated the brown Mexicans of San Jacinto, assuring Texas independence. That's literally what it says here. 127 years ago, 1898, Bill Duggleby of the Philadelphia Phillies hit a grand slam in his first major league at-bat. He's one of only 4 players to ever have done that. The other 3, you guys know, Daniel Nava, Jeremy Hermida, and Kevin Kuzmanoff.
Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, all those guys.
107 years ago, 1918, Baron Manfred von Richthofen.
Ice skating champ?
Better known as the Red Baron.
Oh.
He was shot down.
The pizzas? Right on.
That's right. The guy who made the pizzas in the freezers was shot down. He made a perfect landing with a bullet in his chest. Then he died in his plane. He shot down over 80 enemy planes during the First World War, defeated Snoopy countless times, and he made a fine frozen pizza. 45 years ago, 1980, at the Boston Marathon, Rosie Ruiz was the first woman to cross the finish line, but for some reason she was disqualified just because she jumped into the race in the last mile.
Can you believe? No, she was. She was the woman. They wouldn't let women run, right? And she was the one who did it.
No, isn't that the one that...
She was the one that cheated.
She did?
Yeah.
She jumped in at the last
We got to
mile.
get in there somehow,
Oh, my gosh. 32 years ago, 1993, Walker, Texas Ranger, premieres on CBS, starring Chuck Norris. It ran for 8 seasons. The new version that premiered in 2021 is just called Walker, and it stars Jared Padalecki from Supernatural. 12 years ago, 1913, Chrissy Amphlett of the Divinals lost her battle to breast cancer and multiple sclerosis.
Divinals. We danced to that song. I Touch Myself, right?
Yep. She was 53, and her final wish was that I Touch Myself will become a breast cancer awareness anthem, which it has.
Yes, ladies, make sure you are, and this is no joke, and I know the men are going to be like, ooh, touching boobs in the shower. But that's my mammogram that I got. One of the things that the technician said is that women should be at least once a month touching on their boobies in the shower because of the heat and everything that it is like steaming in there. It helps loosen up, and you're able to feel things a little bit better than maybe if they were rock solid in the
wrong with that.
Try not to watch while you do visual.
I feel up my testicles in the shower all the time to Peter Frampton's "Can You Feel the Noise" or whatever. Do you feel? Do you feel like I do? I put that on and I'm like, all right, both balls feel good. Keep checking, boys.
9 years ago, 2016, Prince passed away from an accidental overdose of fentanyl. He was only 57.
I hate fentanyl so much.
Yep. 7 years ago, 2018, Vern Troyer died of alcohol poisoning. The coroner ruled it a suicide. He was only 49 years old.
Wow.
And that's what happened back in the day. Okay, Lauren, talk to us about celebrities.
All right, Moon. Guys, we knew that some rumors were out last week that Foo Fighters and or Nirvana was going to surprise Coachella concert goers this weekend, and it wasn't either of those bands. In fact, it was only Dave Grohl. But this is the first time Dave has been out since the affair and his new baby. And so I think this is a good sign that we are coming out of our Grohl hole. He was joined by the LA Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra at Coachella this Saturday. He performed 2 Foo Fighters songs, The Sky is a Neighborhood and Everlong. Here's a little clip of Everlong as shot by somebody in the crowd.
Whoop, give me 1 second.
That's okay. I'll tell you this. He had 2 surprises, you know? So he came out and, again, this is the first time he's played live since last summer. So I was excited to see this. I think this is a good sign that things are going better for him in his personal life, hopefully, and he's getting his crap together. And
so this is him coming out as the surprise?
Yes. And also, I didn't know that I needed the Philharmonic Orchestra doing Foo Fighters, but I do now.
That's kind of cool. Who's the band?
That was the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra.
No, I mean like the drummer and everybody.
Everybody,
that was in there
yeah, it was a whole massive orchestra behind them.
They were cruising. That was punk rock for them.
They were. It was really cool. Keanu Reeves is going to play the villain in the upcoming Weezer mockumentary film. Juliette Lewis, Eric Andre, Johnny Knoxville, and Ben Schwartz will also star in the film, which is being described very similar to Spinal Tap. It will be a mockumentary, and Keanu and Weezer go way back. The band's first ever public gig was opening for Keanu's group Dogstar in 1992, and then last year the bands reunited, this time with Dogstar opening up for Weezer as they celebrated their Blue album, a 30th anniversary. So this will be cool because Keanu Reeves, nicest guy in Hollywood, next to Tom Hanks, he's playing the villain in this mockumentary about Weezer that'll come out next year.
Man, I remember being in high school and hearing about Dogstar, and you're like, oh, Keanu Reeves got a band, he's a bass player. I had no idea they were around in
the 90s. Right.
Yeah, I didn't know they were that early. That's
I'll put Keanu above Tom.
I would too.
I think he is the ultimate kindness.
And he doesn't need the acclaim. He's a
sweet,
lovely.
Sweet man, lovely human, and he didn't make Chet.
And he didn't
that's
make Chet.
The real. That's the bump. It's the no Chet Hanks bump.
I think you're right because Moon and I have a mutual friend that she was out in California with her family just on a vacation, and they pull off the side of the road, and this guy on a motorcycle pulls up. And he asked, like, hey, do you want me to take your picture or whatever for the family? And it was Keanu, and he took their picture and everything. And he's, like, so nice. And then he just got back on his bike and drove off.
I love that.
I love those stories.
That's wild.
I love Keanu on a motorcycle. Hot off the release of his hit movie Sinners, which won the box office this weekend, director Ryan Coogler has confirmed a reboot of The X-Files. That's his next project he's working on. He says he wants to make it, quote, really effing scary, and he's keeping his fingers crossed that Gillian Anderson will return as Dana Scully. Gillian said last year that she's not ruling it out. And for those who don't know, he also directed the first Creed and both Black Panther movies.
You know, those Creed movies are awesome, by the way. Somebody told me, it was probably like 10 years ago, they're like, dude, you gotta go back and watch X-Files. And because I missed that. I did too. I never watched that. And when I went back and watched it, it is pretty awesome. It's so dated that it was kind of hard to like stick with.
Right.
But at the same time, it was one of those where it was like one of my few regrets in TV. I was like, oh man, I wish I'd have been with this when it happened.
I just remember I was little enough where it was scary.
Yeah. I was like freaked out by aliens.
They've already rebooted it once, and it didn't really do well.
But this is a movie.
I kind of didn't understand how it played, like the way that it kind of plays itself.
But it's basically kind of like a Black Mirror thing. Right?
Kind of. Black Mirror is straight up modern Twilight Zone.
Yeah, this is more of an investigation.
Black Mirror's all technologically based too.
Yeah, but it's also, you know, like different cast, different story, different everything. Like it's a whole thing. Have you guys finished that season, by the way?
I'm 3 deep, and they are all good so far.
I've never watched it.
Oh, it's your show, man.
I know. Everybody's telling me I would love it. I need to
Oh,
just
I don't
do
know
it.
if she needs to see any of those.
I don't want to be more
You're
weird
right.
than I already
You're right.
am.
That will scare you to death.
Jennifer Aniston revealed that she has an extreme fear of flying, and it was once so severe that she developed a superstitious habit of tapping the outside of the aircraft with her right palm and stepping onto the plane with her right foot before boarding. She shared that she found a way to cope. She goes, I've been doing some hypnosis lately, and one of the requirements is to remove all of those superstitions. So I have not been doing the right hand, right foot, and now it's shockingly good, she told Travel and Leisure as they interviewed her about this, which is so interesting. I mean, this woman has been flying all over the world her whole career, and it gives me hope, though, for those of us who maybe have fear of flying or get a little weird about it. If Jennifer Aniston can do it, we all can do it. Because I don't think she's flying private all the time. I think sometimes she is on these, she's in first class, but I don't think she's jet setting only in a private plane. I feel like she's on board with the common people. So we should.
You think so?
I think so.
Wow, that's wild.
Or at least at some point in her career she has.
She needs to fly with the Blue Angels and get it out of the system.
They're just like us.
They are just like us. Speaking of movies, Sinners won the Easter and Passover box office, which is kind of interesting considering it's called Sinners and these are religious holidays. Ryan Coogler directed film starring Michael B. Jordan soared to #1 as the box office champion this weekend, taking in $45.6 million. A previous top film, a Minecraft movie, didn't give up the title without a fight. That's still going. My nephew was telling me all about it. $41 million in its third week of release. And The King of Kings, The Amateur, and Warfare finish out the top 5 films this weekend. Kristen Stewart and her fiance Dylan Meyer, they got married yesterday. They've been engaged for quite some time. They did an intimate ceremony at her Los Angeles home on Sunday. So congrats to them. And finally, in celebration of it being Guitar Week, the staff at consequence.net has compiled its list of the 100 best guitarists of all time. And so let's take a look at the top 10. All of these people have been influential. Some of these people.
We're talking about best, not most popular or most famous. We're talking about
the best guitarists of all time, skill-wise.
Okay, we'll talk. Where are Hendrix and Clapton on there?
Hendrix is #1.
Okay.
And Clapton is not top 10.
Okay, what about Chet Atkins?
Ooh, yes.
Chet Atkins, not in top 10.
That's
go big.
Wow.
I mean,
Where's
obviously,
Van Halen?
Eddie Van Halen is #2.
Okay.
Jimothy Hendrix.
Yeah, he's
That's #1.
Okay. What's his face from Toto?
Steve Lukather.
Steve Lukather, not top 10.
Okay, that's weird.
Interesting.
Mhm.
All right. Are you going to say Kurt Cobain?
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
Tony
Are you going to say Jack White?
No.
Okay.
Iommi.
Tony Iommi is #3.
What, #3?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Keep going.
Cow.
Band.
You talking about John Mayer?
Nope. I want my MTV.
Dire Straits?
Dire Straits.
Mark Knopfler?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hot riff, though.
Are we anywhere? I mean, are we dancing?
You're dancing in the area. I mean, these are more like #10 is Nile Rodgers.
Okay.
Is John Mayer on this?
John Mayer is probably on the list, but not in the top 10. Jeff Beck is #9.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
David Gilmour, #8. Pink
yes.
Floyd.
Best.
Sister Rosetta Tharpe is #7, which I like seeing that on this list.
That's pretty fun.
David
Jimmy,
Gilmour should not be on that list. He's one of the top most influential.
Creative.
you don't think he's top best?
I don't know. I don't think he would say he was either.
Well, none of these people would ever say, "Oh yes, I'm the best." I
May?
doubt it.
Eddie Van Halen would.
Eddie
Yeah,
Van Halen
Eddie.
would
Yes.
have.
Malmsteen.
No, Yngwie not on this list.
Should be.
What about Jason Becker?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You guys are going to obscure. Like the last 3 on this list, you have an iconic rock and roll blues guitarist from St. Louis. You have
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry's #4.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Stevie Ray Vaughan not on the top 10.
Bam.
But
Brian
the
May's
last
not on
two,
there?
they are, but not top 10. The last 2 that you're missing is #6 and #5.
Nick Jonas.
No.
He's pretty good. He
a
botched
good
that one
guitarist.
solo, and it's going to haunt him forever. We all botch one here and there, and it just happens to be on TV.
So the last 2, #6, Jimmy Page.
Prince.
#5 is Prince.
Prince.
Oh,
Durr,
yeah.
Durr.
So it's not a terrible list.
No, that's not
but
bad. That's
who
not
knows?
bad. That's not bad. I would have taken Gilmore off there. He's one of the most influential and one of the most tasty.
Yeah, I think
You
one of
just
the
don't
most
think
creative.
he's as skilled? That's interesting.
Well, I guess it depends on what you mean by best. Like, I would consider him one of the more skilled because he's singing with the thing. It's his voice. He made it his voice, and that's where the art really is. Because there's a lot of people on Guitar Center who can play everybody under the table, but they're not songwriters. They're not making it a voice. They're like clinical guys, and that's
I don't know. I think David Gilmour, for how strange and how original Pink Floyd music sounded like when it came out. I think and he kind of created a different like a dreamscape of guitar rather than being as like whereas Eddie Van Halen was more into Mozart.
And I see that the stuff that Gilmour did as skilled musicianship, skilled songwriter, skilled storyteller, rather than just best guitar player.
Yeah, I saw a thing with because I have a question as a non-musical person. Well, I saw a thing with the dude that did Smoke on the Water, and it was just Beethoven backwards, and he admitted it. He's like, it was some Beethoven symphony, and he just played the notes in reverse. And
Whoa.
And he's like, Beethoven made me, he's like, I owe Ludwig a check. Because he's like, that song's made me very, very wealthy. If we're talking influential stuff for guitars and things like that, Slash never makes any of these lists, and Keith Richards never makes any of these lists. But I feel like now, as far as being skilled guitarist, I don't know anything about that. Sounds good to me when I hear it. I know Slash when I hear him, and Keith Richards has made some of the most memorable licks in history. Even says he dreams them and wakes up and writes them by his bed. He said he dreams like guitar riffs, and he'll wake up and write the notes down and go back to sleep. So why are they always excluded? Is it just that they're not great players, or
that's the same thing I said about Jack White. Just seeing him a couple weeks ago, and I'm going, this is a man who deserves to be in the top 10, and he never is. And I don't know if that's because there's so many, it's like all too crowded already.
I've seen him in some top 10s.
Have you?
As far as like influential guitar players?
Or creative.
If you hear like what most influential guitar players, you'll see Gilmour, you'll see Jack White, you'll see Tom Morello, you'll see all the guys that like aren't necessarily the clinical guys that are really voice makers with their instrument. Dimebag's on both of those lists. That dude was crazy influential and crazy
Never Keith
skilled.
Richards.
But never top 10, which
never
is interesting.
top 10. And I'm always like, I'm not saying he deserves it or doesn't. I'm just curious of like, I would say pound for pound, some of the most memorable licks in rock and roll history came from Keith Richards' fingers. So why does that not get taken into account? Is he just like that clinically bad of a guitarist?
I just think it's overcrowded. They never especially the dead guys, you don't ever see them just kicked off the list. Because they are infinitely, they're forever. They will never, Eddie Van Halen will never not be top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's a tough one to be, I don't know, because they also always leave out the country guys. Like Brad Paisley's incredible.
Oh, he
You got
is.
Billy Strings, who's insane. And
it's in his name.
Yeah. But I mean, you got all these super talented guys.
There's a dude named Marcus.
Never be in those lists.
There's a guy named Marcus King that he'll blow all these people. I mean, he's the new Stevie Ray Vaughan. He'll noodle at his concert. And it's actually good. It's like, it's not like the meandering noodling of a John Mayer. It's like he's melting your face off with a guitar for like 20 minutes. But those kind of guitarists don't tend to make these lists. I'm just curious.
I just find it weird
curious what
too
the qualifications are. For
like a Brad Paisley who understands the country, the bluegrass, the rock and roll. He understands all of it fully. He can do it all, but he doesn't ever. You got to be giant in pop culture. It's weird.
Because the greatest guitar players will never know their names. The greatest actors will probably never know their names. The greatest songwriters will probably never know their names. Because it's all about timing and pop culture relevancy and blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, dude, there's like that Polyphia kid, that Tim, whatever his name is. You got, I could say 100 names that none of our audience is going to know.
Or me.
Because they're all like Instagram guys or like nerd guys. And those guys can play everybody under the table. But they're not pop culture relevant. Birthdays.
We have Frank Delane. He's 34, and that's Nick from Fear of the Walking Dead. And the teenage Tom Riddle from Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We have Jean Carlos Canella, is 37, and got to play Jesus Christ in the Fox musical The Passion. And I wonder how that ends. We got Robbie Amell is 37. We got Tony Romo, legend, right? 45. Dallas Cowboys retired quarterback. We got James McAvoy is 46. Rob Riggle, which I love, is 55. He's a big goofball. Watch one of his movies today. He's awesome. And check out this guy's song. Robert Smith from The Cure is 66, the greatest goth guy on the planet.
Oh, yes.
But one of my favorite musicians as well. Andy McDowell is 67 from Groundhog Day. Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Love him.
68 years old.
Still alive.
Yeah, still going strong.
Would have lost that bet.
Man.
Good for him.
That accident, I'd never heard about the parasailing accident before. I've always heard his name, but I didn't realize he was injured and lost his career because someone hit him in the face. They were parasailing, their knees hit him in the face. And
Let's say what? You being serious?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the days to have a famous parasailing accident story, and Riz is not here.
Not here.
Don't tell him. Don't remind him. Don't tell him about that.
And Tony, the tiny dancer, Danza, is 74. Iggy Pop is 78.
Dang, Iggy Pop is 78 years old.
That's your crap on celebrity.
And, well, no, today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Jenny Lovett with 2 T's at the end.
Ooh.
Today's birthday girl's been in 45 fine films, including I Also Got Hurt in a Parasailing Accident. Weird. Big Shots, California College Student Bodies, 38. Filthy British Sluts, Horny Over 40.
Hello.
That was a lesser popular ESPN series. Pink Eye 3. Moon's favorite, Pink Eye 3.
Poop particles, man.
Scott's favorite, Toys apostrophe R ass. Toys R Ass. When porn stars play to Sluts in the Sun. And who could forget her role? And Lauren's favorite, 2004's Gulp Fiction. That's right.
My you guys. Travolta's in that one too.
What
it's
in the world?
Incredible.
Wow.
Do you know what she calls a Royale with cheese? All right. Jenny Lovett is 50 years old. That's your porno birthday. That was actually your crappy birthdays. And this is officially now been Crap on Celebrities.
The time is 7:45. We'll do Sexy Time Fun Facts up next. But first, it's Learn with traffic and weather.
And it's brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. If you need some extra cash, Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Stalled vehicle northbound 55 past Revis Barracks. The right shoulder is closed. Also an update, westbound 40 just before 170. Middle lane closed due to an accident. The right shoulder is closed as well, so only 2 lanes are getting by. Your weather today, high of 66. 48 will be the overnight low. It's going to be sunny at some point, I hope. Right now it's 53, and your point weather is brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning. More reliable than your St. Louis weather.
Sexy Time and relationships with Rafe coming at you.
Okay, so let's go over Rafe's bucket list.
Okay.
So these are all the things Rafe would like to achieve.
Please tell me you don't have Dropkick on there.
I do not have Dropkick on there.
How about receive Dropkick?
It's on there now. Might as well. So we've been going over all of our bucket list items over the last couple of weeks. We've done everybody's. We did Learns yesterday. We did Moon, King Scott, Riz. And now we do a lot of stuff on the show where we punish each other.
Okay.
So we're trying to develop the flip side of that coin where we try to lift each other up, help each other achieve some of our buckets. Stewart's American Mortgage. Listen up, everyone. I have been working with Stewart. Goes by Stewie. And this guy, man, he really cares about refinancing and getting you a home. If you're someone who's looking to purchase a home or refi and you're looking to consolidate some ugly credit card debt, maybe you don't know what to do, go talk to Stewie, man. He makes it easy for you. He's the guy. If any questions on rates, the industry, trends, give Stewie a call. And when you call Stewie, you call him on his personal phone. He gives out his personal phone number. You're always talking to Stewie or his son. It is a family-owned business, and they care about every single client. He'll always be honest with you about what the best plan is for your current situation, and he'll provide guidance and walk you through every step of the process. And he offers his signature bagel loan for refinances or new home buys up to $200,000. The bagel loan is a signature loan that covers typical costs associated with closing your house, including no underwriting fees, no appraisal fees, no title fees, no lender fees, no closing costs, and extra benefits of the bagel loan. For a refi is you get more money back in your pocket. You can maximize cash back on a cash out refi, and you can refinance your home for free without adding any previous loan amounts. And if you work with Stewie, he actually watches the rates for you, and he calls you when they go down to refinance your home and save you money because you get personalized service with integrity. It's worth the phone call to talk things out with Stewie. Text him right now. Tell him Rafe sent you. at 314-324-4440, or you can Google the Bagel Loan, the NMLS number 226715.
So let's start off with an easy one.
Okay.
You have this incredible career with Everclear.
Right.
Made all of these records. You've had, I would think, multiple opportunities to do like a solo record, but you're going to put out a solo record for seemingly the first time in your career.
For not seemingly the first time.
The first time in your career. Why now?
Well, I mean, you know as well as I do that Everclear has been my baby from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's my thing. So as far as doing a rock band situation, I never felt really a need to do a solo record. I tried to do one once, and it turned into an Everclear record. And I wanted this to be different. I wanted this to be just me playing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's mostly acoustic guitar, acoustic bass, some keyboards, some drums, not drums on every song. I sing all the vocals. I play all the instruments. Co-produced it with a friend of mine who's a great engineer, producer. And, yeah, it's very raw. It sounds like it sounds like an Everclear meets Cat Stevens meets Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young.
Oh, wow.
But with some Elvis Costello in there.
All right, I like it. I look forward to that. One of the reasons that I've always liked you and liked your band is because there was always this sort of punk sensibility on those and not only a punk sensibility in the music, but you as well sort of have a little bit of that punk rock swagger.
Absolutely. I've always had that. I've always seen myself in the punk rock aesthetic.
Well, but you're
You know
buddies
what I
with
mean?
like Jim Lindbergh from Pennywise and those guys, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't mean to name drop.
No. We're all suburban dads,
Right.
that live in Southern California that all grew up with a lot of the same music. They went a lot more punk rock than I did. I'm older than those guys, so there's more of a sense of melody to it as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, underlying, I've always looked at Everclear as a punk/hard rock band with a singer-songwriter. That's what we are.
Well, absolutely.
And it's not, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's unique in its own right. And that's what we are.
Yeah, agreed. There are some artists that we have that will play our way back show and will not want us to use the phrase way back when we're kind of speaking of them. You, on the other hand, you do the Summerland Festival. You embrace that.
Why not?
Yeah, that's kind of more my question for you. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think some other artists have like a hard time? Like, just people like it. No, they're coming out to see you no matter what it's called.
A lot of people, especially people who feel a little insecure about where they are in the world, in my experience, seem to think that if they embrace any kind of, what's the word you want to use for it? Any kind of affection or acknowledgement of the old days, that it means that they're not relevant today. And to me, we define our own relevance as people and as artists and everything. I feel relevant. I go out and play to people who are singing the words and who are excited to see it and are paying money to see it, and it's value to them. That's a big deal. It's not just the money. It's not making the money, but that people will spend the money and they feel like they're getting value for it. Are you a dad?
Yes, I am.
So am I.
Yeah.
I'm a family guy. It's not hard to have it's not easy to have a family.
No, sir.
You want to find value wherever you go. I'll spend good money if I get the value for it, if it's worth what I'm paying for it. And if I feel that that's what we're giving to people, whether it's some sort of nostalgic trip or it's connecting with a part of themselves that they haven't felt connected to in a long time, what the hell is not relevant about that?
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. And one question in closing, and I hope that it's all right for me to ask you this, but how's your health overall?
You mean the MS?
The MS, yeah.
Dude, I'm doing okay. About 2 months ago, actually 2.5 months ago, I got an offer from this doctor who writes these nutrition books and bestsellers, and he has worked with people with autoimmune diseases, and a lot with RRMS is what I have, and by going on this plant-based diet, very strict plant-based diet, he believes that in 6 to 9 months I can start to put it into remission. Wow. So that's what I did it. I spent a month out on this thing, spent all this money to do it, and feel great.
Yeah.
My whole family's trying to do it, and my daughter's doing it great. My wife's having a hard time with the vegan thing.
I'll tell you, that's
.org. I want you to remember prevention, education, prevented.org. This is an incredible resource that we have here in our community. You know, 1 in 5 people 12 and older have used illegal drugs or misused prescription drugs within the last year. And we're taking a stand as a community, and this is how you can do it. If you know any youth, young person that might be going through something where they're turning towards substance use, or they've tried it, and you're trying to help them out, they have this amazing Guide Ed program where you can. By the way, it's no cost to families, and we're talking about a scenario that's going to help these kiddos sort of find, resources and do an assessment. And after the assessment, they'll figure out exactly what might be right to help this kid, be pointed in the right direction, certainly away from the wrong directions. Teachers, school administrators, parents, all of you can be a part of this. If there's a youth in your life that you know is going to need this program, and the Guide Ed program is all the way up to 19 years old. So go to prevented.org. See some of the resources there, the education programs, and everything that will help us stand up against substance misuse in our community. They help empower us with the knowledge and the tools to become effective agents of change in this horrible, horrible epidemic that's going on right now. So take action. Go to prevented.org. It's prevention education, prevented.org.
Hey, it's Blue October at Point Fest.
Hello.
All right.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, that's all right. You do whatever you need.
We're
The next 10
back.
minutes are all about you.
Hey, Jeff's wife. Just want to say hi, Jeff's wife. Hi, Jeff's daughter. I love y'all.
So, okay, first and foremost, we were talking to Will just a second ago.
To Will, my boy.
Introducing me to Will.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that has become so apparent to me over time in meeting bands and talking to bands is that word chemistry. And how absolutely, positively crucial that is. And you can probably even like someone personally, but maybe not have that same musical connection. And it's got to be all of that.
It's got to be all
statement
that.
ever.
Yeah, you vibe with somebody. You can vibe with anybody, you know what I'm saying? But when you get musically, like the other night, take for instance, we played a show last night. And just backstage after the show, I was listening to some cool Miles Davis jazz, right? Mm-hmm. And then I went to Bill Evans jazz, and he sat down with me, and for 30 minutes, we just started discussing how piano and jazz and...
Listen to the Rizzuto Show on 105.7 The Point. Blow those friggin' candles out, will you?
Yes, happy birthday, Riz. Again, we're going to play a little game later. We have some Mastodon tickets, Social D tickets, Point Fest tickets, and Battlehawks tickets to give out. We'll do that after Rafe does relationships. Hey, what game are we going to be playing there, Rafe?
Oh, you'll find out.
Oh, okay. It's a surprise then.
Mm-hmm.
And your Sexy Time Fun Facts are brought to you by Morris Royce Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Rizzuto Show, and Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet. Mm-hmm. Imagine how frustrating it would be to have your property destroyed because of somebody reckless who couldn't control their fire. Mm. Now imagine if this was the situation. A man in New York admitted to starting a three-alarm fire last week, damaged 3 homes, damaged many, many cars. He set fire to, quote, some intimacy items with a lighter.
What do you mean, Moon?
The 37-year-old arsonist is a guy named Harry Torres, and he told the investigators, I started the fire. I was in the backyard of my house, and I lit 2 sex toys on fire.
Oh, Lord, it's a fire.
They say one was a rubber
vagina.
Oh.
No one has said why he set fire to these toys.
Friction.
Yeah.
Literally lighting a fire into some random panties.
He lit a fire. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but an 87-year-old woman was forced to flee her home. The damage to 3 properties was extensive, and Torres has now been charged with arson and reckless endangerment.
Yes, 911. I would like to report a vagina that is on fire. Lady,
excuse
you need
me,
to go
a what?
get some,
Is this Kings of Leon again?
you need some Vagisil, ma'am.
Kings of Leon, stop calling.
Dating is a lot different than it was 40 years ago, and here's another reason why. In the 80s, it would have been a red flag if somebody you hadn't met wanted to go on a hike through the woods. But now, according to a report from a matchmaking company, first dates that involve something active are 25% more likely to lead to a second date than meetups at bars, restaurants, or coffee shops. It's unclear if they included the dates that didn't survive the woods. Active dates are, quote, anything that gets people on their feet and experiencing something new, like visiting a museum, strolling through botanical gardens, attending a concert, grabbing a bite of food at a food truck, or taking a cooking class. And yes, hiking is included. In fact, hiking boasts a whopping 50% success rate for second dates.
Dang.
Nice.
And Quicksand obviously
That's
speeds
right.
it up.
That was a 2-year relationship that took that long. Bars used to be a popular option. Having a drink or two can relax you if you're at a place where you're able to talk and get to know each other, but that's becoming less popular for everybody. Boomers are the least interested in going to a bar than Gen Zers. And Gen Zers actually see the least success following first dates at a bar. An expert in the report said more singles are seeking alcohol-free ways to connect and create a space for authentic conversation and emotional chemistry to grow organically. They didn't mention anything about online dating, but I'm assuming dating apps probably contribute to this because they're kind of sharing interests conversationally on the apps prior to going to whatever that first date might be. So let's get real for a second. According to a new survey from Talker Research, 1 in 4 Americans say that they're in a relationship right now. That's 26% of people in serious relationships who feel like things could use a serious reboot. What does your rut look like? Oh, I'm sorry, relationship rut. A relationship rut.
Yeah.
26% of people say that they're in a rut.
I haven't talked to a lot of people lately about that. People are in a rut. And I think that's like a pandemic influence. You know, we're 5 years out. Things have changed. We've all changed. Like, our mental health is probably low. And that all contributes, you know? Like, I mean, can't all be rainbows all the time. And we go through so much. And the world's hard and could be contributing in a way.
Yeah, I think I was seeing like a lot of people too, like, you know, people that I knew, they would get in that like first rut and they didn't know what to do. And one of them would be like, I'm not happy. Divorce. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the rut. You know, it's like, have you gone through it enough? Have you had a lot? Like, is it worse now than it was 5 years ago when you go through a rut? Is it your first rut to be in with a relationship? Yeah, I don't know. But
Well, half the people in the rut report fewer romantic gestures or special moments. Nearly half say that sex has become routine or less passionate. About a third admit to boredom in the bedroom. 4 in 10 say meaningful conversations have dropped off. And some are starting to daydream about other people. If you're wondering how long these ruts last, the average is close to about 10 months. More than half say it's been a year or longer since they felt exciting. 63% are actually worried that if something doesn't change, they're going to end the relationship.
Jeez.
Not all doom and gloom, though. A third of people say that they've been in a rut before, worked on the communication, tried some new things, and actually got right back on track. For about a third of those couples, it really worked. Now let's talk about what's happening behind closed doors. Only 30% of couples say that they try new things in bed frequently. Almost half say that they're doing it just 1 to 5 times a month, and only a third give their sex life an A. 13% say that it's completely failing. Long-distance couples. About a third have been there. Some say that those relationships are spicier thanks to technology. In fact, tech is playing a bigger role all around. People are using toys, lights, playlists, you name it, they're shaking things up. Bottom line is, the experts say that it's normal for things to settle into a routine, but making small changes like shaking up the bedroom routine or just reconnecting can make a huge difference. So if you're in the rut, you're not alone. It happens. The key is talking about it, trying something new, and not letting things go stale. It's easy coming up with the perfect things to say to a match on an online dating app, but there are a lot of wrong things. A new survey asked single people about the worst messages to send through dating apps, and I have the top 10.
Okay.
Let's see. Should we start from the bottom? Let's start from the bottom. Number 10 is, tell me why we should date. That's so dorky.
Yeah, that is very dorky.
Number 9, and I can't believe this isn't higher on the list. You remind me of my ex.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Number 8 is you free tonight, which is just high
one
class
isn't
you
good?
up.
I guess that's better than like, oh, you remind me of my mom or my dad, you know, like, you remind me of my ex. I mean, obviously it's setting you up to kind of have a thought of, oh, this is not going to go well for us, but it's better than like anybody else.
Well, I would think that like they're still hung up on the ex.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't want to hear about your ex. I don't.
Remind me of my dad. You still got a shot.
You just brought your ex into relevancy in our relationship.
Oh yeah,
and that's weird.
Well, then you can open it up and go, what happened there? I mean, that's just investigation, finding out why the last relationship, something went wrong. Like, aren't you curious of that?
If somebody says if we're on the online aspect of this initial thing and somebody says that I remind them of the ex, I'm out.
I would say, what do you mean by that? And then I would get into well, what happened there? I don't know.
Just to find out?
Yeah, just to find out.
That wouldn't turn you off, though?
It would make me go, ooh, what am I doing that is not good? Or maybe there was a similarity that's not a bad thing. It's just my ex-girlfriend was also into cats, you know?
And
Cool.
Want to know why they broke up with someone so handsome and awesome? It doesn't make any sense.
Number 7 is what are you up to? Okay. Number 6 is starting it off with I usually never message first, but, and then messaging first.
Lie.
Number 5 is hey beautiful or hey handsome.
Oh.
Number 4 is any sort of a cheesy pickup line, like did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Number 3 is how are you? People are upset about how are you?
Why?
Are you a fart? Because I want you in my pants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy.
I like it. Into that. Swiping right or whatever.
Number 2 is you up. 72% say that they get that all the time. And number 1 is just hey or hi.
Hi.
Maybe it's too basic and it forces the other person to start the conversation, but they want a little bit more than hey.
I think you should start off with well. Very ominous like that. Just see what's up.
Other people say that they're annoyed when they get the question, how long have you been single? Or a message that says, you look like trouble. Or I bet you get a lot of messages. Or I would treat you right. Or we would have beautiful children.
Oh, no.
How about you'll do?
Or fellas, a message that says, hello, beautiful. And then a message 5 seconds later that says, you're a bitch, because they didn't respond immediately.
And that's usually how it goes.
Calm it down out there, boys.
I heard that works.
It gets them excited.
Let's see. A survey has shown that 75% of men are more loyal to their barbers than their partners.
Well.
Yes.
I guess barbers are hard to
I just thought about
find.
what I could say on air and had to edit.
Okay. According to a survey, nearly 7 million men would feel guiltier about cheating on their barber than on their romantic partner.
Yeah, you can survive bad oral, but you can't survive a bad haircut. You know what I mean? That's out there for the whole world.
Do we ever know what you mean? Yes.
God.
Am I right?
That's a hot take.
Over 3/4 of men express stronger loyalty to their barbers, with 28% saying that they would never go anywhere else, compared to just 15% of women. It's said that a bond is built on routine, familiarity, and years of trust, which can make the relationship with a barber more stable and lasting than some romantic connections. Reacting to the revelation, one person said, I'm on the verge of marrying my barber. Been going to him every 3 weeks for the past 18 years. Another commented he knows his barber better than his girl, blood type, trauma, and Wi-Fi password. OMG, I can't. This is hilarious. A survey for something we all know. Hairstylist too, said another.
I'll be honest, man. I could have dated the last person that cut my hair. She's married. She's great gal. But we knew so much about each other. Like, if we were both single, I was like, hey, but we've done a lot of the heavy lifting here.
Right.
I can see that. I can kind of
And you would
understand
have free
it.
haircuts, which is a gift.
I could see it.
Swoop her up.
I could see it. She was a good gal.
Good
But,
news. What happened? Why'd you cheat on her?
Was she married before
she's
you
in
found Tina?
Edwardsville.
She
also cuts
distance.
Tina's
Oh,
hair.
she's been married.
Long distance
This is
relationship.
different.
Tina
This
in
is
love with her
different.
as well.
No, this is a different person. I got a different person cut my hair now because it just long distance relationship was just hard, man.
I get it.
You know, long distance
Yeah,
relationships, like we stayed in it for a long time, dude. I was driving to Edwardsville for an hour. in traffic.
And
to get
she
my
never
haircut.
came to you, not once.
Yeah,
You
and
were
I just
always doing the
realized-
driving.
Yeah, I realized there was a giver and a taker in our relationship.
Wow.
And sometimes my therapist says, I got to protect myself. So I'm sorry, Amber. I still love you, but, and I wish you the best.
This is too much.
And if I'm ever in Edwardsville, I'll come by for a trim. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't need it,
Wow.
I'll come
That's
by.
very sweet.
I also started growing my hair out, which didn't seem practical to drive over there for the last year and a half
Just to say hi.
just to have her be like, things look good. Yeah.
You're avoiding me. Good news for zoned out men. When your wife says that you don't listen, here's your excuse. A new study found men literally cannot hear as well as women.
Huh?
And there's nothing you can do about it. Probably comes down to anatomy. Scientists tested people's hearing in different countries around the world and found that it's true everywhere. The average woman has a 2 decibel advantage, up to 6 decibels with some frequencies.
Because we got our head up our ass, am I right, boys? Come on.
That's right. It's a little muffled up in here. That's not a lot, but it's significant enough to make a difference. They think it might just come down to hormones or how our ears develop in the womb. They think it's possible women's brains are better at processing sound as well. So when it comes to hearing, men might have worse ears and inferior brains, and we're okay. This is good news for us.
Listen, I don't believe it one bit. There was a man that wrote this article, and this is your get out of jail free article, and absolutely not.
This is a
You guys
study.
are not getting out of this anatomy-wise.
The study, conducted by all women, I'm sorry, I may have just put that in there, also found that regardless of gender, we all tend to hear out of our right ear a little better than our left. Not sure why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
it is.
You said hear in your right ear better than the left?
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I'm going to start. Ladies, start
We
screaming
hear
in the
out of our
right.
right ear better?
I think so.
That's because we're always driving, and that's the one facing the passenger
Yeah,
seat.
exactly. I'm sorry.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. There are some types of single people, like the creepy Unabomber type, that are always an obvious swipe left. But for others, you have to live and learn. So I guess swipe left is a no.
Okay.
Right?
Oh.
You guys tell me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody on social media asked, what is one type that you would never date again? Like if you saw somebody that looks like a particular type, you're just out. You're done. Anybody got any just no-goes?
I'm just, I would never date a smoker again. So, like, if they smoked, like, I had 2 ex-boyfriends who smoked, and it was the worst. I mean, I loved those guys, but
If you
I dealt
smoke,
with
your
it.
profile picture should have a cigarette like Dan Aykroyding out of your lip, right?
For sure. Let me know that ahead of
Dry
time.
on there.
But also, it could be kind of hot. Like, I'm not saying, like, sometimes cigarettes hanging out of a mouth can look hot. Like, James Dean looked hot smoking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. But I don't want to deal with it. Like, if a fake cigarette, fine. A real one, I'm out.
Neither. If you're walking around with a fake cigarette, we got other things going on.
I have a lot more questions, actually.
Yeah, more questions for that. I don't like, it's been a point of contention at home because Tina started smoking cigs again, and I'm like, get that out of here. What are we doing? We're regressing. So I get that. I'm trying to think if there's a type, like a specific type of woman.
I got a whole list here, and some of them are pretty detailed. Number 1 is people who only talk about their problems or are perpetually miserable, so like the forever victim. Number 2 is people who are emotionally unavailable. People who are addicts who always play second fiddle to their addiction, or they say that you'll always play second fiddle to their addiction. The next is the woe is me covert narcissists who are secretly jealous of you. Number 5 is people who use I'm a free spirit to excuse all their bad behaviors and actions.
That's a great
Number
one.
6, people who are secretly married. Good God. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a type that everyone should avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this list from obvious.com?
Obvious.com says gym bros, low-key, have an eating disorder or a God complex. 8 is loud bar talkers. Number 9 is people who are constantly keeping score. Number 10 is people who think on their own, who can't think on their own, and who are easily influenced by others. Number 11, hoarders.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's a little more, because a lot of that stuff you don't find out right away. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff, you're not going to find out about some of this low-key narcissism stuff till you're in it. Because they hide that well at first. I'm talking like right out of the gate, there's a type, you can see it, or it's, hoarders is on there. That's a perfect one.
It says people who still love their exes. The next one is people who only listen to one genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that's a pink flag. If somebody...
Yeah, you can't have an open mind at all with
guy
other
or
types
gal.
of music.
Yeah, guy
I
or
hate
gal.
this or that. Yeah. Another one is if you're an outdoorsy person and But usually you find out after you're dating because everyone always says they're outdoorsy, and then you find out this person. Like 'cause I
Actually isn't.
dated a gal once and for a while in LA, and she lived close to the beach within like 10 minutes. And you're like, cool, she's outdoors, this is awesome. And then once you start dating, all she wants to do is sit on the couch, eat food, and not walk to the beach to watch the sunset.
Ooh.
And I'm like, all right, this is over.
Especially with that beach right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so easy.
Like,
I get it if you don't want to go camping. Like, some people are just really adverse to, like, snakes and mosquitoes and ticks and being in the woods. Like, I get that, you know? But the beach is incredible.
It's insane.
The city is right there. The beach is here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The next one on the list is unmotivated people. The next one is people with hyper-political or religious families. Another one is people who don't have a grasp on basic adulting. 17 is strippers. And 18 says anybody with a lifted truck or any guy named Jason.
Jason, what's up?
This was
Dude, have you ever dated somebody that was such a turnoff or it didn't
this was
go
a
wrong?
test
Bodies
conducted
by
by
Jason.
Christy.
What, I mean, I know plenty of people that had such a bad experience with one person that if the next person is their dream gal and walks in and has that name, the same name, they're like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Dang.
I can see that.
I think that happens a lot more than we think.
I would never want to date a very jealous person again. I had that one time, and it was miserable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jealousy?
May not know that right away, but that's a deal breaker for
That
me.
can be very hard. To
I'm not
navigate.
saying there's not a healthy amount of jealousy. That there's a sprinkle of jealousy that's a little sexy. Like, I do want a woman to take her earrings off and fight for me. A little in the right circumstances, but not because you didn't like the way the barista looked at me when I ordered my coffee. You know, like, if it gets too out of control, it's just such a gross and ugly thing.
Well, let's do some relationships with Rafe. Rafe's relationships.
We're doing that now.
No,
Okay.
let's take a break first.
Oh, okay.
We'll do it after the break. Right now it's 8:15. We are cruising through today, this Monday, April 21st. 8:15, here is Learn with some traffic and weather.
And it is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. If you need some extra cash, Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Out there on the roadways, stalled vehicles southbound 55 at Loughborough. The right shoulder is closed. All lanes are open, though. Other than that, looks pretty normal. Your point in weather, we will get up to 66 today. The sun is allegedly going to come out eventually, but it looks very overcast right now, so they could be lying. 48 as the overnight low. Right now it's 54. And your point weather is brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning, more reliable than your St. Louis weather.
Aha! Welcome back to the farm. So today's a special day because I got Mark from Colonel Landscaping here. Hey, Mark.
How's it going?
So Mark brought us a gift, the gift of a tree. So Mark, what does this symbolize? What is this tree? What do we call this?
So this would be kind of like a statement tree.
Tree.
Or a memorial tree sometimes. Moving on to a new piece of land, you put this thing in there, it grows along with you as you grow with the land.
Well, memorial would be like if I died and then you plant this over me. So we'll call this a statement tree.
Statement tree.
So this is a statement tree courtesy of Mark and Colonel Landscaping for Riz Farms here, which will be put up in front of the house and it'll be on the farm for forever.
Yep.
All right, so Mark, what kind of tree is this?
This is an autumn blaze maple, so it's going to get beautiful fall colors. It's a relatively fast grower, so it's going to get nice and big, give the house some shade.
Oh, awesome. So we need to put this into the ground, which I've never planted a tree before, so...
Oh, you're going to get your education today.
Oh, nice. So let's get it off the trailer.
All right.
And into the ground.
Yes, sir.
And how much does this thing weigh?
Probably about 200 pounds.
Good thing I got this cart. Let's load her up.
We are backstage at Point Fest, and what a day in which this has been already.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, joined by Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Hi.
very much.
Hey.
It's great to
We're the-
see you
we're
guys.
our
invisible third member.
Yes,
Hey,
yes,
well,
yes.
how you doing?
We're the hail half of Hailstorm.
I have to tell you this, and I know you don't remember this because it's been years and years and years, and I don't even remember how many years at this point. But the very first time that you came through the Point, you were on my when I was doing
Yep.
mornings at that
Yep.
time.
Yes,
And it really seems like a decade ago, and it might have been.
It might have been. I don't know. Time is very elastic right now.
Absolutely.
It's like it went by like that fast, but it feels like a different
It was
lifetime.
probably 2009. It was probably the first album cycle. Like,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And we were in the parking lot. And
Absolutely so. Absolutely so. Boy, things have changed mightily.
Yes.
New record is out. All
It
right,
is.
we're playing the steeple right
Yeah,
now, which is
thank you guys for
fantastic.
spinning it, yeah.
But one of the things that I absolutely love about when a band has something new, I'm always amazed when I go see a band right after they have something new, and the guy next to me somehow already knows every freaking word to every. Like, dude, I've listened to this album twice. I don't know how you can, but like. How
Steel Trap, man.
Right? How quickly, when you've got a new record out like you do you start to see non-radio singles getting yelled back at you?
It's pretty incredible. Not only the record wasn't even out a couple days, and we went out on tour, and it was like from the first day, people are singing songs that like I'm having trouble remembering.
You know what's funny? I was just saying, we don't remember all the lyrics,
and,
you know?
and not only that, but there are so many people that have gotten tattoos of the lines of the songs, and I'm like, the album just came out, dude. It's crazy. So
How do you know for
it's
sure it's not going to
wonderful.
suck? Sure you want to get that tattooed on you? Like,
Sure you want that?
It's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just write sucks underneath if I don't like it. I see how it is.
You have the ability to add on, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose it's so crazy though how that happens. And there have been so many bands in my life. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many bands I've loved, but I just cannot bring myself to the dedication of some of these folks to getting the tattoo. I mean, like, I love the example. I love The Simpsons more than almost anything in the history of ever.
Yes.
You know, and I have been thinking about a Millhouse tattoo for a very long time, but
cool.
I can't pull the trigger.
Just can't do it.
So these folks that are like getting lyrics and stuff, I applaud you for being so hardcore.
It's a beautiful thing because likewise, I don't think I would do that for my favorite band. So it makes us feel so incredibly special and throughout everything that we've all been going through for the past couple years, it's just so nice to like have that fellowship, and I feel like it's even more intense now. Like it's almost like these songs are no longer just this entertainment for people. It's like their lifeblood and something that they need. And so just to be a part of that is amazing.
I think now more than ever, everyone really appreciates being able to go out and see live music again because it was taken away from us. For
Even
so
in the
long.
rain.
Even in the rain or shine.
Even in the
They're
rain.
here.
Well, because like you guys know, there is just an exceptional kind of release that you get at a show that cannot be duplicated through any other thing. Just sitting there or standing there and being able to just kind of sit in it is so amazing.
It is. Believe me, we tried to fill that hole with every
You
possible
can't download
thing. You can't do that.
Like a lot of bands tried doing virtual shows, and God bless them for entertaining the fans when they couldn't come to shows. But it's definitely not the same.
It's nothing like it.
Wasn't
Nothing.
the same.
You can physically feel the gray cloud being lifted from your life when you're at a show, and it happens with us too. Like we're on stage playing every show like it's going to be stolen from us.
Magic moment.
And it's just beautiful to be able to live in the now.
I feel as though, and I don't know this because I don't know you guys really well, I feel like you would be a very competitive band in a situation like this where you're not going last. I feel as though, because I have, friends in bands that kind of like it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because they kind of like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Well, you want to see what's going on after this? We'll
Follow
find
that,
out.
killer.
You know what I mean? Am I correct?
Oh, absolutely. Especially considering that like we've been on a headlining run and a couple of them now and just on this new album cycle. And so I don't know, it's really fun. It's like wham bam, thank you ma'am, follow that killer.
Me and
It's great.
Jacoby are in a constant energy battle.
Yes.
See who can bring it harder.
Yes.
And well, he wins every time. Dude, it's insane. Yeah.
So that guy, number of years ago, we're out here interviewing. It's 475 degrees, as it tends to be in St. Louis in the summer. Mid-question, my dude takes his pants off. And then when I had trouble getting back on track with the interview, it just turned into a total disaster, and Jacoby just took it over.
Yeah.
It ended up being a great thing, but for a while I was like, I don't even know where this is going.
It's no longer your interview.
Yeah. You knew what you walked into. It is Jacoby.
So a couple weeks ago, Lizzie, I saw you tweet something about today is a day to enjoy your favorite guilty pleasure music or something along those lines. I am so fascinated. When I saw that tweet, I was like, I cannot wait to ask him what your guilty pleasure music is. Because right now, I have...
Victory Men's Health, 2 O'Fallon, but both O'Fallons. They got a location in both O'Fallons, and they got one in Sunset Hills where they have a cardiologist. They partnered with a cardiologist to do heart health, full-on heart health stuff down there. And then they have the Town and Country location as well, Victory Men's Health, where me and King Scott and Rafe go for our vitamin IV drips. And I was just there for a Niagen Plus drip, and holy smokes, it was amazing. I felt so good, re-energized. My energy was better. My sleep was better. I swear I was smarter. My mental fog was gone. My kids even noticed. They say, "What have you been doing?" I was like, well, I've been on a vitamin program now from Victory Men's Health. They checked out my cells down to a cellular level. They checked out my blood, and it was like the SpectraCell thing. And we went through every aspect of my blood, what I was missing vitamin-wise, what foods I needed to up so I could get those vitamins naturally. And then they had a multivitamin and some other things, and I'm on this regimen now, and I'm telling you, it's made all the difference. How can they help you? Maybe you're experiencing ED. Maybe you're feeling your age, so maybe your hormones are off. Maybe you're struggling to lose weight. All of these things can be helped by Victory Men's Health, and I encourage you to go in because it is a cool place. I really do love the lounge in there and getting those vitamin IV drips and the zero gravity massage chairs. It's awesome. Victory Men's Health at victorymenshealth.com.
This is King Scott, Ways of the Blades. Today I'm going to teach you swords. First, you want to start with the Holiday Special. They're a great way to start an attack. They'll never see it coming. Next, you want to use the Festus backswing, especially if they use the Matthew Perry. Now you want to finish with a Canterbury Slice. It's a great follow-up if they're using the Crom's Delight or the Miniature Poke. Thank you for watching. This is King Scott's Ways of the Blades. Now you know swords.
Hey, we're the Interrupters! And we're here with our new friends Sarah and Donnie from The Point. We're at Music Record Shop, and we're gonna go get some records.
Reggae and ska. This record is going to change your life. It really is. This is Nightclub, Gangsters, Rudy, A Message to You, Rat Race.
And, well, I guess we have to do this because they asked me to. Happy birthday, Riz.
Happy birthday, Riz. Riz is off today, though. He'll be here. He'll be here tomorrow. We're holding down the fort, guiding the ship, and it is Monday. We just did Sexy Time Fun Facts, so let's do some Rafe's relationships. Relationships with Rafe. I don't think I have any sexy music for you.
Oh, here. Would you like me to sing a song?
Ooh, yes. Would you please?
Can I get a beat?
Go ahead. That's our beatboxer, our King Scott, our resident.
For relationship advice from a man who's been dating the same girl for a 7-year span. He's the guy who goes online and tries to find things wrong with America and relationships one at a time. That's right, William.
Hitmaker. DJ Khaled.
That's enough.
Okay, thank you.
That was beautiful.
Dude, I hope.
Well done.
Pull that audio. All right, we're going to do a little missed connections, St. Louis style today, guys.
I have some music here.
Oh, put some music. All right. You know what?
I put in instrumental sexy, and it gave me this club crap.
I'm horny, and I'm hot, and I'm Rafe, and I'm here with relationship advice, and I'm horny and hot and old and way over 40.
Ow! You want this, or should I drop it?
Drop it.
All right.
Here we go.
It's sexy. Actually, put it on for this one. Put it on because I like this one. First one, Missconnections, St. Louis, party people, Maryland with the egg rolls and pink tray. Come.
Oh, yeah.
Ty Idol. Maryland with the egg rolls in the pink tray. Maryland with the egg rolls in the pink tray. Maryland with the egg rolls in the pink tray. Maryland with the egg rolls in the pink tray. Come get your tray. Or text me. Campgrounds, Illinois. Maryland gave me an egg roll at the campground, and you left your good tray and a good impression. Text me or stop by. That's it, Maryland. It was pretty simple, but this is a very descriptive text line. So Maryland with the egg rolls in the pink tray. Somebody's looking for you. You left a good egg roll and a good impression. Now, I assume egg roll is not a euphemism.
Yeah, I was going to say, at a campground, is that a code?
Yeah, it could have been Marilyn Manson for all I know. But whatever loofah they had tied to their camper, Maryland, they seemed to be interested in you. So, Maryland, you gave them an egg roll to campground, and God dang it, you left your good pink tray.
You're going to come get it.
Doesn't it feel like both things are a euphemism?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Let me put my egg roll in your pink tray. Let me put my egg roll in your pink tray, Maryland. But let me put your egg rolls in your pink tray.
Egg roll.
Soy sauce. All right. Yes, Maryland. Yes, Maryland. Egg roll in the pink tray.
Oh, okay.
It does sound very much like a song that would be made by some sort of Swedish funk pop band.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What do you got next?
Proper cannabis dispensary this morning. Kirkwad. They only put one O in Kirkwad.
Uh-oh.
They met you out in Kirkwad. Proper cannabis dispensary this morning. Nissan Juke, Colorado plates. Parked next to me. Held door open for you. P Sexy did something to my pants.
Wow.
That's all it says.
What?
Nissan Juke, Colorado plates. Parked next to me. Held the door open for you. Smiley face, P Sexy. You did something to my pants.
Wow.
What did she do to your pants?
What happened to the old pants?
Was she involved? Did she leave her egg roll in your pink tray?
Uh-oh.
So proper cannabis. Okay, let's see what the next one is. See if we can make this here. Oh, this is perfect music for this one. Craft Fair Pink Cutie out in St. Charles. You're the Craft Fair Pink Cutie out in St. Charles. You were working at the craft fair, had a cute pink outfit, exchanged glances and smiles just a few times during the day. Message me with where it was and we can go on from there.
Oh, nice.
You are my Craft Fair Pink Cutie out in St. Charles. It's funny how you're picking these preamble and they're actually matching up really well.
It's very good.
So if you're a Craft Fair Pink Cutie out in St. Charles, I don't know what craft fair was going on out in Moon's neck of the woods, but if you were working,
you know what was going
you
on.
had a cute pink outfit. Glances were exchanged. Smiles a few
He's
times.
looking for you.
Message me with where it was, and we can go on from there. It'd be helpful if you just said where it was, but that's fine. Craft Fair Pink Cutie. That's the third one. Let's see what kind of music bed we can get going for this next.
Let's see. This one says, "The Way I Love You."
Yeah, this is perfect.
Oh, dang.
It's The Way I Love You. St. Peter's Cottleville Target. New employee from San Diego.
This is very Cottleville music.
Yeah, that's what I felt. St. Peter's Cottleville Target. You're a new employee from San Diego out in St. Peter's. Saw you a couple weeks ago while you were training. We kept exchanging glances and it felt like there was a spark in interest. Been back a few times. Have not seen you since.
Oh, no.
What happened?
I heard you talking about how you moved up here from San Diego. Would love to get to know you.
I think this is your music bed for this.
Yeah, I think also, like, this person might be hiding from you, man. Last time I went, I caught you making a fort out of boxes and pretending to be invisible. It's me again.
Hi.
Peekaboo. St. Peter's and Cottleville Target, new employee from San Diego. I want to get some of that Target brand Everyman Jack body wash.
Clean up on aisle 5.
You have reasonably priced designer furniture from that guy Nate who used to be on Oprah Winfrey's show.
We don't like to talk about him no more.
He's been canceled.
Cancel.
St. Peter's Cotterville Target. Cottleville. If you're a new employee from San Diego, which should be pretty specific, somebody, I don't think this is a coworker. I think this is a customer. They're looking for you. So, there you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
The next one is called Kirkwood.
No, Kirkwood has different music. Hang on. Keep going.
Make it
I met you for the first time 16 years ago today. I didn't know at the time how much you'd changed my life. How could I ever forget that freaking smile? I will miss you forever. Uh-oh, that took a turn at the end.
Goodness.
Oh my God, somebody's dead?
Did you kill someone 16 years ago?
You're going to miss this connection.
I met you for the first time 16 years ago. Today, I didn't know at the time how much you would change my life. How could I ever forget that freaking smile? I'll miss you forever. Okay. That's it.
Wow.
Kirkwood, wherever you are,
That took a sudden turn.
All right, I got two more, so let's load up the music.
Man, I wonder what's next. Can you tell me where it's from?
Mid Rivers Mall area.
Oh, this better be
Mid
good.
Rivers Mall. Okay.
Don't let me down, baby. Yeah.
Meet you
Now
by
we're
the
gonna go into
dumpster.
the bluesy part of town, baby. Ooh, nothing says. Ooh, you can see the cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
The wisps of smoke in the air. Fedoras, vests,
Red
pocket
lipstick.
watches, red lipstick, pocket compacts. A woman with an attitude in the Mid Rivers Mall area, and a message only titled, "Wow, Bob's Furniture Chat."
Good discount.
Ooh, nothing says sexy, blues, classy lady like Bob's Furniture. Beautiful and classy lady. Saw you upstairs and you talked downstairs about your previous furniture here. Would
Great.
love to carry on that conversation.
Brings a new meaning to love seat.
Speaking of love seats, some people say my face is a love seat, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Sit down. I'll show you about the Love Sack store later if things go well. Today, Tuesday, 5 p.m.-ish. Question.
Yes.
What vehicle did I see you drive away in?
What?
Red Corvette, baby.
No matter what it was a box truck to me, honey.
I want you to unload some cushions.
Oh my gosh, you two.
She walked out of my life forever. I met this dame at Bob's Furniture. Oh, she was hot, all right. She had red lipstick and a black heart. She was about to change my life forever. Little did I know that when she flipped her finger on my fedora and told me, "Nice tide, bozo," that I was about to fall hard into the abyss that I never knew I could come out of. Next thing I know, I woke up on a pull-out couch
That I bought from
right in the middle of the showroom. She'd taken me for everything, shaking me right down to my ankle socks. But wherever she is, I hope she's doing all right.
You know, that's okay if she took all your money. Because at Bob's, you can get a lot for less.
That's right. And that little claymation man popped up in his head. Sorry about your bad luck, brother. We've all been there, pal.
Take as much time as you need living in the store.
He gave me a shot out of a little tiny claymation flask. And it tasted like clay, but it was still a cool experience overall. Bob's Furniture Chat. See you around, boys.
This has been the strangest segment of
Honestly,
I love it.
I think we've stumbled onto something here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's good for the people listening, but it's very good for the room.
I will take it. All of us are in tears and we're having a good time.
I like the premeditated me having to match the energy of the.
Yeah, you tell me where it's
You're
from.
killing it.
And I'll find it.
All right, this one is from St. Charles.
Oh, there's more?
There's one more.
How
This is it.
How can we top that?
Maybe it's time to get out.
Are we gonna ruin it?
Let me see.
There's no way we could ruin it.
I don't know if it's going to be as good as Bob's.
We're not doing it. We're getting out.
stand up,
If
Bob.
Bob's doesn't advertise now, I don't know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
Bob. Come on.
Great.
That was the
Got music
greatest,
for ya.
strangest moment I've ever had on the show, and my God, that was so much fun.
I'll save this one for the next one.
Yeah, we got to quit while we're ahead. It's not going to get any better than that horn player.
That was great.
At Bob's in Mid River Small.
Very good job, everybody.
Oh yes, well done. Thank you. Oh well, we'll give away some tickets next. How's that? We'll get back to something that's fairly normal for the show. Mastodon tickets, Social D tickets, Point Fest tickets, Battlehawks tickets, all up for grabs. Give us a call, 314-624-3833. That's 314-NAH, dude. You can always text us on the Coleman's Camper text line, 314-649-DUMB. Tune in on the Mick Ultra Studio Cams. We are live on the Points YouTube channel. And what are we playing next there, Raphael?
We're going to play a game of 3 and 5.
3 and 5. Love it. We'll play that up next. But first, it's 8:39. Here's Lauren with some traffic and weather.
And it's brought to you by Golden Oak Lending if you need some extra cash. Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Stalled vehicle southbound 270 to Big Bend Boulevard. The right shoulder is closed. Other than that, you guys look pretty good. The weather today, it says it's going to be sunny at some point, but I don't know if that's true. 66 as the high, 48 overnight, and right now it's 55 at 8:40. And your point weather brought to you by Martin Jetco, heating and air conditioning, more reliable than your St. Louis weather.
The clouds outside match the clouds in my heart, and I had to let Golden Oak Lending cure my blues. Bob's
3 and 5. Up next, what do we do?
Okay, so Rafe has our official bucket list.
That's right. We've talked about bucket list on here so many times. We thought, and we're getting ready to implement a new. Stay tuned. We have a new contest with punishments coming up, and we thought maybe as a flip side to that, we talk about bucket lists so much that we would, instead of just being in competition with each other, we would also have a series of videos where we actually try to help each other check things off our bucket list, which is a nice thing.
Lifting each other up.
That's right.
To help us check things off our bucket list.
And to soften the blow of the horrible things we're going to do to each other in the other competition.
Yeah, come the fall, which we have a big Riz Olympics announcement to make come the fall. Yes, let's lift each other up first.
Yes.
Build up, and then we break down.
That's right.
Okay.
So,
It's
yeah,
a boot
okay.
camp.
So, yeah, I forgot. Eat at Golden Corral was on my bucket list. We'll check that off next week.
That's right.
Next Monday.
Which, by the way, is it Monday or Tuesday?
I think we changed it back to. Did we change it back to Monday?
I'm going to murder all of you.
Let me check the calendar.
Tuesday.
Well, no, it was a moon schedule that was the wacky one.
Yes, it was my schedule. That was the wacky one. It was supposed to be on my gotcha day.
Well, but I thought we were also kind of celebrating Jeff.
Let's see. You know what? Just tell me what to do, guys.
Well, you're the one that's
Tuesday.
You're the one that was the weird schedule.
Well, yes, but remember, I also said, hey, I think that's open if we want to switch it back.
Well,
or
so
if we
what
wanna
day
keep
works
it.
better for everybody? Next Monday or Tuesday?
I'm open either day.
Well, let's go over while we're checking.
So it's 8:42 a.m., but you and I are similar creatures. We probably start thinking about what you're going to eat for lunch and possibly even dinner. I like to pre-plan it out and kind of daydream about what's going to be going into my gut later in the day. And might I suggest that you eat local and you have something very delicious from Sauce on the side. There's 12 locations in 12 plus years. They deliver. They have patios. They have an indoor space, obviously, a dining room. They have beer and wine and soft drinks and and calzones. Okay, that's what it's all about. You go there, you can get a gluten-free calzone. You can pile on the meat if you want. You can do vegetarian. And they always have a special, like the strike zone for a couple more days of April is apple bratwurst, applewood bacon, pepper and jardinera mix, mozzarella Havarti cheeses, and then queso that is made homemade on the side, hence the name Sauce on the side. Dunk at your leisure or however you want to do it. You want to drizzle? Go ahead. Sauce on the drizzle. Doesn't have the same ring to it, but they're not going to like arrest you if you don't dunk. I mean, the sauce is there. You don't have, maybe you're anti-sauce. You're just calzone person. It's kind of weird. Seems a bit dry, but you do you, boo. Sauceontheside.com.
How are you, everybody? Donnie Fandango, and I am very lucky, and I know I'm nervous because my hands are sweating like crazy. I got Pete and Sam from Chevelle. Gentlemen, welcome back. It's really great to see you.
Hey, it's good to be seen. Good to be here, Donnie.
Well, and it feels like there was a number of years where we were running into each other a couple of times a year, but now it's been, I would say, probably 3 years, and it feels like forever, but you're back with great new music, guys. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, it does feel like forever.
So let me ask you this, the break between records was the longest of your career. I'm sure you're going to get this question 6 billion times and have already, but it was a long break. What was going on during that time? Was it just a record that took a little while longer to make?
Yeah, we were doing records almost every 2.5 years, roughly. Yeah. And I think I hit a wall and I just needed a little more time. I think I kind of like, we don't learn very quickly. We learn by mistakes mostly. So we decided, hey, let's add another year. Well, that year turned into an extra year, and because of COVID and all that. So we wrote a ton of music, and then in 2019 we went back to the drawing board and wrote another 6 songs because plus we did a long tour in 2019 too. Which we had from writing. A good opportunity that came up that we didn't want to pass up, and then so we kind of had a a collective thing where we came together and say, hey, I don't think half of these are good enough. So our producer pushed us and we came out. So anyway, I wrote Self-Destructor at the end of 2019 and a host of other songs. And we needed to record those in March of 2020. That was right when COVID was kind of hitting, right? I guess everybody has their own time frame of that. But for us, we were in LA and it was March 5th. And it was really starting to crack down in LA, and we finished the album up and then skedaddled back home March 18th. So yeah, then it turned in, we were like, okay, so when do we put the record out? Let's hold for a minute. And then we got into the summer and we were like, Sam and I are freaking out. We're like, let's just put it out. So we've been trying to put this album out since summer of 2020, but we had some disagreements. It's weird. It's a weird time. We didn't know what was right. So we held off, but then I had an epiphany. I woke up and I was like, one day I was like, Sam, dude, let's just do whatever it takes to get it out. We need to feed the fans. We need to feed ourselves creatively. Let's just put it out. It is what it is. I don't want to sit down any longer. So the label agreed, and this is where we're at, and now we're promoting. So couldn't be happier with the response, though. So thank you.
Well, and I want to ask about Self-Destructor because to mine, and I've been a fan of you guys for, a long, long time. And I looked, by the way, Self-Destructor is at least the 17th Chevelle song that we have played on the Point over the course of your career in our career.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's insane.
But this, to me, this is certainly the longest single you guys have ever released.
Yeah.
Is it the longest song you've ever made? And was that a calculated move to change things up a little bit, or can you kind of talk about that? Because I was surprised as heck to see a 5-minute 43-second Chevelle song.
Yeah. Well, here, Sam, if I don't mind me answering that. So, okay, the song was written, and we didn't think it was a single at all. Yeah. So we just write now. And it is what it is. But this, the ending, the reason it has the piano on is because we were huge Faith No More fans, growing up as, teenagers, and I don't know if it was, so I'm writing on different things now. Piano, there's keyboard on the new album. There's different sounds, things like that. I'm doing a lot of soundscape stuff on my own. So I started incorporating that in, and I had the.
Let's talk about DraftKings at Casino Queen. Guys, here's a little hot tip for you. Did you know Sports fans, DraftKings at Casino Queen has the best sports book in town. Before your favorite game, enjoy Bridgeway's social hour before going to the game. But did you also know that they will shuttle you to Busch Stadium for free? That's right, for free. Same for Blues games, too. They're in the playoffs, baby. You go to the playoff game, or maybe you're going to go see something else at Busch Stadium, whether it's concert, whatever's going on at Busch. DraftKings Casino Queens will shuttle you across, save you the headache and the trouble, and it costs you nothing. Plus, you get to hang out at their state-of-the-art sports book. They offer a free sports shuttle to and from DraftKings Casino Queen. Plus, if you decide to stay the night after the game, you save 10% on your hotel stay when you show your tickets. Or if you're in the military, you just show a military ID, and you get the discount to stay any time. That's 10% off for all military veterans and personnel. When you stay the night at DraftKings Casino Queen, they always have great monthly giveaways. And this April, you can win a 2025 Polaris Ranger from Breeze Lawn and Garden. Saturday's in April, and the finale will be drawn on April 26th. So hit it out of the park this baseball season at DraftKings at Casino Queen. Book DraftKings at Casino Queens. Stay and play in the Cardinals Hotel Package. The Grand Slam Bundle includes one night in a hotel, 10% off casino dining, 2 cards, tickets, and free shuttle service to and from the game. Starting at $159. Call 618-874-5000 to book today. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Based on availability, some restrictions may apply.
By the one and the only Brent Smith of Shinedown.
I forgot how that song goes. All I heard was ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what are the actual words?
I don't think anybody actually knows.
Is that Girls?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
There we go. That is some 80s.
You know what? We
That
got
is
to bring it back
hardcore.
for the weekends, right?
Okay.
The holiday weekends. So.
All right, it's time to play a game. I had so much fun in that last segment. We kind of lost ourselves there for a minute, but whew.
I think I found myself.
Hope everybody enjoyed it. So we've got the phones lined up with 6 contestants for today's 3 in 5. If you want to give us a call, 314-624-3833. In case we have some losers here, open up the lines, 314-NA-DUDE. The Coleman's Campers text line is open, 314-649-DUMB, just in case you want to yell at us about how these are too easy or too difficult. And the Mica Ultra studio cams are live. We are live on the Points YouTube channel. So let's get it going. All right, and we have tickets to give away to Mastodon May 8th at the Factory, a pair of tickets to Social D July 9th at the Pageant, a pair of lawn tickets for Point Fest with 311, The Urge, Toadies, Finger 11, Ludo, and many more happening Saturday, May 17th at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. And we also have a pair of tickets to the next Battlehawks home game versus the Michigan Panthers. That's right, this Saturday.
Yay!
April 26th at the Battle Dome at America's Center. Today we are playing 3 in 5, and the game is sponsored by
CarStar, your auto body repair expert. Hail damage? See them at carstar.com.
Okay, so Rafe is going to read a topic, a subject, if you will, and then you have to give us 3 within that category in under 5 seconds. If you can do it 2 out of 3 times, you get the tickets of your choice. If you cannot, we will make fun of you forever and ban you for life from listening to the show. Just kidding. Just kidding. Let's go live to Chris. Chris in O'Fallon.
Yeah, baby.
Hello.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Hurricane Chris.
Good, good.
All right, you ready to play 3 in 5?
No relation to the hurricane.
Oh, no relation.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
All right, then.
Just have some fun, all right?
This Chris is all business.
I'm business, Chris.
All right, Biz Chris, here we go, bud. 3 in 5 begins. Chris, name 3 breakfast foods.
Eggs, cereal, bacon.
Eggs, cereal, bacon.
We'll accept it. And
That's
by
a
the way, Learn and King Scott will be harshly judging any questionable answers. All right, for the win, Chris. Business, Chris. 3 things you shouldn't touch at a museum.
Animals, other people, and poop.
Okay, yeah, you should never touch poop, but I don't think we got there.
I mean, unless it's
not going to count that.
It came after the buzzer, I believe.
I don't like those answers. No, I'm not counting it.
Sorry, Chris. 1 for 1 or 1 for 2. Got to get this one right. Still alive.
You got this, bud. This one's easy. Chris, give me 3 animals you don't want to find in your bed.
Snake, or bat.
Okay, fine. Snake, alligator, bat.
Is that what it was? Alligator, number 2?
I cut out I think it was alligator. We're going to give it to him.
All right, we're going to give it to
That was
him.
good.
Congratulations, Chris. Hang on. King Scott will give you some tickets. Jade in Mount Olive. Jade, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Hi, Jade.
Ready to play?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then I guess we're ready.
I love when people
Are
call
really
in.
into
You guys are bothering me right now with the show I called into. Jade, come on. Be excited.
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous, Jade.
Don't be nervous.
I got
Everyone
your
is
back.
listening.
I believe in you. All right?
Here we go.
You're good. You're a good person. You deserve this. Jade, 3 traditions at a wedding reception.
Chicken dance, dollar dance, eating cake.
Yes.
Booyah.
All the best things.
Well done.
Killed it.
That was a tough category.
Tough category, and she killed it. You stayed calm. You stayed locked in. And Jade, I believe in you on number 2, too. Jade, give me 3 excuses for being late.
Overslept, traffic, sick.
Yes.
Dang.
Jade, amazing.
That is how it's done.
2
Congratulations.
for 2. Patient
you.
does it.
That was amazing.
Good job.
What tickets would you like, Jade?
Battlehawks.
Oh, Battlehawks.
Battlehawks.
The next home game versus the Michigan Panthers this Saturday, April 26th at the Battle Dome. Lee in St. Charles. Lee, are you ready for 3 and 5?
Hey. Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right, here we go.
All right, Lee, good luck. Lee,
Thank
give
you.
me 3 90s trends.
Tight rolls, neon, and
All right.
You got there, buddy. You were
Tight
there.
roll.
You were there, man.
Starting with the tight roll that's awesome.
Yeah.
That was my
all right,
favorite.
it's a little tough.
Once you had it, you just needed a little more time, and that's okay.
I got you.
You got this one, brother. Lee, give me 3
Thank you.
reasons your neighbors might call the cops.
Barking dog, loud music, bright lights.
Yeah.
Very good.
You know,
I don't know your neighbors.
we forgot to mention that one of the caveats here is that you cannot stall. No ums, no ahs,
and
no
ahs.
nothing. And no one has done that.
I've been telling myself that the whole time I've been on hold.
You're right. We just forgot to tell the listeners who may be new to this
You're
game,
right.
But
That's on us.
But you've done it perfectly, Lee. So for the win, here you go.
No ums, no ahs. You will be buzzed out if you or ah. Now that we've put that in Lee's brain. Lee.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Lee, give me 3 things you might find in Guy Fieri's glove box.
Flavor Town sauce, sunglasses, and gel.
Oh, come on.
I'm giving it to him.
I'm giving it to you.
Yes.
Congratulations,
Man.
Lee. That
At
was
the buzzer.
Thank you.
That was so tough, dude. What a category, man.
Would have also accepted Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew.
Brian in Hazelwood.
Hey, good morning.
What's up? Good morning. Let's do 3 and 5. Here we go.
Good luck, Brian. Brian, give me 3 movie villains.
Joker, Freddy, and Jason.
Nice.
Wow.
Pulled that one out.
I thought you missed it, but you did get it at the buzzer.
Good deal.
Good. All right. Next up, give me 3 celebrities known by one name.
That's a hard one.
Madonna, Cher.
Would have accepted, yes, Prince, Madonna, Cher, Beyonce.
Bono.
Oh.
Bono to a lesser degree, yes.
All right. Make or break.
Here we go, bud. Give me 3 things you would see at a funeral.
Flowers, tuxedos.
Corpse, coffin.
Corpse.
Also,
Great.
I've never been to a black tie funeral.
Tuxedos.
Tuxedos. I'm like, damn, who you burying, dude? Daddy Warbucks.
Chrissy in Lake St. Louis.
Hello.
Hi, Chrissy. You ready for 3 and 5?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right, Chrissy, here we go. Good luck. Name 3 things that are squishy.
Balls, dog nose, your hair.
Squishy hair. Interesting.
A dog nose.
Dog nose are squishy,
I know.
right? When you boop them.
That's a
I
weird
meant to
thought.
say clown nose.
Did you say balls at the beginning?
Clown nose. Yeah,
Yeah.
balls.
Okay, balls are squishy. Yeah.
Are we counting? Hair? Are we counting?
Hair.
I'm not the judge. You're
I
the
don't
judge.
like
judge either.
squishy as an adjective for hair because
I understand.
she
Oh,
understands.
look, she's being so amicable. It's a good strategy to get us to go her way.
I mean, if you think of like, but I don't know, like
King,
an
what do you-
afro. Would an afro be squishy?
You shouldn't touch it. You shouldn't know.
You shouldn't touch it, but But do we know? I mean, you know.
My friend Chris's afro is squishy. You let me touch it.
Survey says?
I'll give it to her.
All right.
Friend's got a
Thank you,
squishy
Lauren.
afro. I mean,
Thank you, Lauren. I was nervous. Thank you.
okay. All right,
Right.
do better. Okay, we got to do better on this one.
All
I'll
right.
do better. I'll do
Chrissy,
better.
this one needs to be airtight. All right. Chrissy,
Okay.
3 things you've pulled out of your couch.
Safety pin, penny, quarter.
Love it. Yep.
2 coins, but I'm going to give it to you.
Yep.
I didn't say it couldn't be
Thank you.
different coins.
She didn't say coin and then like quarter.
Well done, Chrissy. All right, we'll do one more. Josh and Festus, you are last on 3 and 5. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
All right, Josh, give me 3 things you might find under Kid Rock's bed.
Weed, alcohol.
Those are all correct answers, but you said
Yeah, weed,
Yeah.
weed, alcohol, cocaine were the only 3 answers to that.
Also, gun.
All right, bounce back. Here you go.
3 things you'd yell if you saw a bear.
Run.
Goodbye.
What is
He said, I mean, maybe that's one of the responses.
I think he it up. It sucks to end. We had so many winners.
I know.
Not everybody can win.
But that's all right. We did all right. That's how you do 3 and 5.
Very good.
All right, the time is 9 o'clock on the dot. Learn. Tell me about traffic and weather.
It is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. If you need some extra cash, let Golden Oak Lending convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. They can cure your blues out there. Stalled vehicle westbound 70 past Jennings Station Road. The right shoulder is closed there. Otherwise, you are good. Your weather today, 66 and pockets of sunshine possibly through these clouds. Let's hope. 48 tonight as the overnight low. Currently, it's 55. And your point weather is brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning. More reliable than your St. Louis weather.
All right, you know what? Let's get to some emails. Okay. Emails next.
All right, here we are backstage, Wayback Point Fest, with the boys from Lit. Gentlemen, how are you? It's great to see you again.
Doing great. Good to see you guys.
Okay, first and foremost, I hear that there is illness sweeping through the Lit camp. Can we confirm, deny, what's going on?
I'd rather not use the word sweeping through because it's just one guy at the moment, and luckily we're at the tail end. We got like less than a week left of the tour.
Man, so you're hanging on.
We've been out for over 10 weeks, or about 10 weeks, and that's not bad. And
logistical question for those of us that have never had to do this. And obviously the advent of the urgent care probably changes the game a little bit. Yeah. But when you guys are in East Lansing or wherever the hell and you're nowhere near home, somebody gets sick, it gets to the point where you're like, we got to do something. What do you do?
we have doctors we can call, and they'll phone in a prescription. I'm surprised he didn't do that today.
Yeah.
Spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, then this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big time during Universal Windows Direct Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, classic fan favorite offer, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Need 4, pay for 2. Need 12, pay for 6. You get the idea. You know how it works. But this month, the savings don't stop there. For a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest till 2030. That's right. Upgrade your home today and don't pay a dime in interest for 6 whole years, man. You could meet someone, have a child, and put it in kindergarten before you would ever pay for 1 cent of interest on your windows. And that's a pretty cool thing to think about because you found love, had a child, and got cool windows all in that 6-year period. It's the easiest way to start your project now without financial pressure. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your entire home improvement project. That's never been a better time to bundle. you're going to save big. So if you've been thinking about adding an entry door or vinyl siding along with your window replacement, do it now and take full advantage of the savings. What are you waiting for? Upgrade your curb appeal, increase your energy savings, and take those big projects on with confidence. Schedule your free in-home estimate today by calling 314-334-2522 or visiting universalwindowsdirect.com. And like me, you will be saying, I love my windows.
This is King Scott, Ways of the Blades. Today I'm going to teach you swords. First, you want to start with the holiday special, the great way to start an attack. They'll never see it coming. Next, you want to use the Festus backswing, especially if they use the Matthew Perry. Now you want to finish with a Canterbury slice. It's a great follow-up if they're using the Crom's Delight or the miniature poke. Thank you for watching. This is King Scott's Ways of the Blades. Now you know swords.
It's Lux, and I'm joined by Josh from Bad Flower. Dude, what's up?
Cheers. How are you?
Cheers. I'm doing so well. I'm so glad we're getting to chat here.
What is that? You got like stickers on your cup.
Oh my God, I got so many stickers. My vaccine sticker. I got my Canada sticker. I got all my good stickers.
Nice.
I'll hook you up with some stickers when you come here because we'll be seeing you in less than 2 weeks at Point Fest, which is very exciting. Wow. And then after that, you got a record coming out, so we got a lot to chat about today. I'm excited.
Yes.
So
yes,
where are you in the world right now? Because I know you guys are currently on tour. Are you like in a bunker somewhere?
No, we're not on tour. Right? I mean, we've just been doing like weekend festivals.
Well, you start on the 10th or 9th, right? You start this week.
Yeah, something like that. I'm in a barn. This is where I live. This is my home.
Still on the farm. How's farm life?
Farm life is great. I mean, it's been like very sparse. Like we've been doing shows over the weekend for the most part, or like just these random things. So it's go do a big drive, come back, spend like 2 days at home prepping for like the big headline tour, go leave again, try to come back and like get more stuff done. And like it's chaotic for sure.
Who's keeping track of Maggie? Who's keeping track of the
We have other people here who are watching.
Okay, good.
Thankfully, yeah.
Good.
And the other
were you able to do all of the recording for the new record from the barn?
A lot of it was done here, yeah, in this room.
That's exceptional. I mean, the last time we talked, you had just bought it. You were literally like moving in. 30 had just come out. Your birthday, July 2020 is when it came out. So happy belated 31st. You've now bypassed that. Hey man, I'm still way above you. So like, prime your eyebrow, right?
It's all downhill.
But I'm wondering if, the last year on the farm, getting to actually do some of the record there, what that was like as opposed to having to go into studios and whatnot. What was that like?
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same for me because like even when we started this record, I started it at the house I was living at in California. So then we like went into a different studio in California to like track drums for a couple songs, and then came back and did basically everything else there. And then I moved, and the second half of the record got done partly in a studio in Nashville and then partly here. So it's kind of like split between 4 different places.
All right. Well, the new record is called "This Is How the World Ends." We are in interesting time for
unprecedented
the world.
Time.
I have been trying to find ways around that as a radio DJ because the amount of times I said it over the last year. But yes, we're in unprecedented times. So what does that title mean to you?
To me, the title it's less about like, the pandemic and stuff like that. And it's more about the way that we talk to each other now. And, I don't know. It's a combination of things. Like, do you have the record? Have you heard it yet?
I have sneaky copy of it.
Yeah, no, I never know. I've been doing all these interviews and I'm like, oh, there's this song. And they're like, I've heard it. Yeah, so it's actually a lyric from the song Machine Gun, which is not about that at all. It's like that song is about something else entirely. But that we titled the album at the end. Like we listened to everything through it. It was like, this just feels appropriate. Yeah, so it's not about anything specific. It's just an overall mood.
Which I feel like pretty much everybody can relate to, because it's not, like you said, it's not just the pandemic. We've got climate things going on. We have humanitarian things going on. And again, just in our everyday experiences, like you said, how we treat each other in these small interactions and where that goes. And I think the first single we played off the new record was F the World. That was the first one we dropped on the radio station. And I feel like that really, that spoke to that like kind of anger and like frustration that we were feeling. But some of the songs have, you've kind of gone a little bit through the emotions on this.
Yeah.
What do you think about the other songs? I mean, Don't Hate Me Now, you've got Family, Johnny Wants to Fight came out like yesterday.
Yeah.
What's my watch?
Or a couple days ago, something. Yeah.
A couple days ago?
Yeah. I love them all. I'm
Plumbing, heating, cooling, and energy experts. This is who I have in my home. I trust all my systems to Anton's. And it all started with an energy audit. I had them in the house to figure out the inconsistencies, the inefficiencies, if you will, in my older home. But I know some new homes have these issues as well. When one room is hot all the time, the other one is cold. It feels like your system is working overtime and not doing all of its jobs, at least throughout all the house. Anton's is legitimately like the best in world-class service and making sure that everybody in our area has total indoor comfort. And that's quite a task because, you know, if you've been living in St. Louis for 5 minutes, we have like 15 different seasons here. One day it's hot, the next day it's cold. I mean, we go through all of it, which puts a huge burden on the systems of our house. So it can make those inconsistencies pretty unbearable sometimes, which is why I turned to Anton's, why I had them in, and why I still have them on my preventative maintenance plan and everything, because they were able to fix all that kind of stuff, save me a ton of money, and make my home much more comfortable, made me a hero to my wife and kids. I'm telling you. Anton's Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Energy Experts. You can see all that they have online, all the deals, all the financing options, everything, and all the services that they can provide to you at antonshvac.com, ANTONSHVAC.com.
It's 105.7 The Point. Donnie Fandango backstage, way back Point Fest, Goldfinger, and we got everybody. How you guys doing?
Band.
It's great to have
Woo! Thanks for having us.
Well, and welcome back to St. Louis. I know specifically people were absolutely stoked to see you guys and have you guys back here. And, you know, our buddy Moon is waving that Goldfinger flag when you guys aren't here, man.
Moon rules.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've known Moon way before Moon.
Thanks, buddy.
He's a really good man and an incredible musician, and it's an honor to have him in the band with us. Really, really incredible.
Thanks, you know, and I say this, and we're going to do this. We're going to make him feel uncomfortable. We're going to talk about him right in front of him. All right, but you have access to probably thousands.
It's the Rizzuto Show. And hey, happy birthday, Riz.
All right, we're back, and Riz will be back tomorrow. He just had a scheduled day off. No worries. You can always get a hold of us on our Coleman's Campers text line, 314-649-DUMB. That's 314-649-DUMB. Live on the Mick Ultra studio cams right now on the Points YouTube channel. Tune in. Let's get to some emails. Emails are brought to you by...
Presented by DraftKings at Casino Queen. Play, stay, and dine. Visit DraftKings at CasinoQueen.com for special promotions.
Rafe, you were gone a couple days, and I got good news while you were gone. A couple people emailed over, like this guy. I work third shift at Waffle House, and don't worry, Rafe. Mooning is definitely making its comeback.
Oh, man.
I have seen so many butts and the occasional flashing on pretty much every weekend.
Nice.
It's coming back, dude.
That's great.
Aren't you excited?
It's better it starts in a restaurant than anywhere else.
Waffle House is a beacon of tolerance and trend setting. That's the right place for the Moon to
100%.
reemerge.
I agree.
A Waffle House?
The glass of a Waffle House.
The lighting in there.
That's a funny bit. Up against the glass as you leave a Waffle House. Great bit.
Not that we're encouraging that.
No. Victimless crime.
Who's offended by a butt, you know? Not saying you see anything else. Just a butt.
Just the butt. That's the nuance of the Moon. You can't go down too far. Can't bend over too far, and you can't pull your pants down too far. Otherwise, we got a fruit salad situation.
And
now
nobody wants that.
Now it's something different.
We were driving home from church yesterday and pulled into our neighborhood, and there was a fella who was working his front yard but bent over, and I mean, almost the whole
rear
end was out.
Total
and then
crack.
he saw the cart. He like pulled it up real quick. It looked like so bummed that we were. I
So
had a
bummed.
big smile on her face, like, ah,
He looked bummed and he turned around and was like, got him.
got him. Yeah.
Dude, I
See you at
remember.
Waffle House.
I mean, all of us learned so much when we were a kid and we're watching movies and TV shows. And one of my most vivid memories of learning about the moon was I was watching a movie, and I forget what it was, some 70s or 80s movie. And in every other one of those, somebody was mooning somebody, because it was always about, the college cutters versus the preps or whatever.
Right.
And, from Animal House to all that. And I was watching, and this dude in the car hangs full moon out the window, and the kids drive off, and my dad, who I didn't know was 10 feet behind me, starts cracking up, because I thought, oh my gosh, it showed a butt on TV, like I'm in trouble for even seeing this. I couldn't believe it. It was one of those learning moments, and then I hear my dad chuckling,
Right.
like a 15-year-old kid behind me.
It's
and
funny,
I thought,
man.
and I go, he showed his butt, and he goes, yeah, that's called mooning.
Butts are a different type of nudity. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're funny. It's not, I've never been offended. Like, plumbers at my house, like the guy you drove by. You see a crack and you're just like, that's funny. I'm not offended at all.
Our parents growing up used to have a bonfire every year between the towns of Elkville and Virgins, which they called Verville because they thought that was funny. And the kids all lined up on the side of the road on an embankment, and one kid held the flashlight. So everybody had kids. There'd be like 10 of us. And there was a 10-ass line. And when cars would drive by, they'd turn the flashlight on 10 asses. And like on a dark night, as the cars drove by, and we mooned a cop. And the cop came back to the house, got to the house before we did, because we were like down the road, and they decided to play a prank like we were all going to get arrested for it.
All the kids?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, nice.
People were crying. Kids were freaking out. It was the ultimate. And from that moment on, the bonfire was renamed Moons Over Verville every year. It was Moons Over Verville, 1993 through 2008. And I got to tell you, I miss those days. That was a fun childhood memory.
That is awesome.
Of, it's
especially
a
when the
fun
cops
story.
were cool like
the
that.
The parents got to have, they cuffed one of the kids.
Oh, my gosh.
They went all in. I was like, turn around, put your hands behind your back. They couldn't. Daniel's crying his eyes out.
What? Oh, my
his dad's
God.
like, ah! And it's like, the parents are pranking, the kids are pranking, the cops in on the fun.
It's community.
Bring it back.
Yes. Wow.
Awesome.
We learned a lot. How about this one? Hey, Riz Show. This is the first time I've sent you an email, but I wanted to reach out. I'm sorry, my pinky just hit the mouse.
I'm proud of you too, man.
Those on the camera just saw me go, huh? Anyways, wanted to reach out because my son has tried out for the elementary school talent show as a comedian, and he made it. He's starting to get really nervous and excited. He was wondering if Rafe might have any advice for him. He loves listening to you guys on the podcast while on road trips for karate and baseball. I just thought some words of encouragement from Rafe and you all in the studio would mean the world to him. 10 out of 5 stars, Kelsey.
Thanks, Kelsey.
How cool is that?
That's
First of all,
great.
congratulations for making the cut on the talent show.
Yeah. Well,
All
if
right,
he
words-
made the cut,
Words of advice?
he's got to do 5 minutes.
I don't know. It didn't say the time. He just he made it as a comedian. So I'd imagine they'll probably give him 30 seconds a minute, something like that.
Oh, wow.
No, that's got to be
longer than that.
Longer than that, you think?
I bet it's probably 2.5 would be my guess.
I don't know. It's probably up to him, I would imagine. The length of a song, at least. There's going to be people singing.
Okay.
They
that's
got to
true.
give him a few. I would say practice, write some stuff down, run it past your parents. If you want to send it to me, your mom's got my email. Send me some stuff. I'll help you with a little punch up. Help you get things in order.
That's awesome.
The biggest thing is write down your ideas and rehearse it in the mirror with the hairbrush or something like that. And try to get to the funny parts. Your friends will let you. You're probably going to, I imagine you're at school. Maybe find some universal things everybody will laugh at. Maybe pick on a teacher. Maybe go after, go try to punch up. Don't make fun of the janitor. You know what I'm saying? Punch up. Go after the principal. Nobody likes the principal, man. Like, just take a few shots. Not enough to get you in trouble, but, something that'll relate. Know your audience. It's probably kids at your school. Do a little regional humor. Like, hey, well, let's talk about Pizza Friday. Am I right? Do a little bit of that. But if you got some jokes, maybe talk about what you know. Talk about your family, your brother, your sister.
What do you
current
wear?
events, Minecraft, Pogs. I don't know what you're into these days.
What should he wear?
I would say wear whatever you're comfortable in, unless you want to go full on Rodney Dangerfield and bring that back. Come out in a suit, push the sleeves up.
Yeah.
Adjust your necktie quite often.
Temple time.
Yeah, some Steve Martin.
Go full temple time. Yeah.
Wasn't that it? Like
an arrow through your head.
I tell you what, kids, I get no respect.
And also
Good on him, though.
More so than anything, prepare for just to bring the house down.
Oh yeah, how you're gonna handle all the flowers being thrown up there?
That's
all that
right.
Stuff and
Confidence. Confidence. Look like you belong. Fake it till you make it.
But I've helped a couple other kids at the high school, junior high, with similar things. If he's got something that he write it down, put it in and I'll show you how to put it in rehearsal form for him to practice it, and maybe even help him with a couple of jokes if you want to send it to me via email.
Well, I'll send him if he doesn't want any laughs, I'll send him a goo joke.
Yeah, do the goo, baby.
We might be able to get to some goo later today, although we run out of time. I'll end with this email, and it says, I had to weigh in on the cat toilet training issue. Cat behaviorist Jackson Galaxy says it best. Now, this is in reference to, we were talking about different cats, and I said, man, I can't wait to have cats again. I can't right now because my daughter's like deathly allergic. But when the time comes, I'm going to have one. I'm going to teach it how to use the toilet.
Right, Jack Burns style.
Yeah, because it's only the litter box that I don't want.
Sure.
I want the cat.
It's the worst part about having a cat.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only bad part in my eyes. This person says we have to ask ourselves: do things that we wouldn't see cats doing in the wild, like wearing costumes or winter sweaters, serve their greater good? We have cats doing their business in litter boxes, and this is a big ask to begin with because their preference is to go outdoors. So big thanks to your cat for going in a litter box. This should be sufficient enough. It's of the utmost importance to respect that your cat is an animal. If an action is demeaning to your cat, disrespects your cat, hurts your cat, doesn't serve their greater good, or you can tell he or she is uncomfortable doing it, resists, or shows signs of aggression, simply don't do it. As a pet guardian, it's your responsibility to love, care, and honor your cat for the beautiful animal that he or she is. Love the show. Best to everybody. Amy.
Okay, well.
All I'm saying is if I teach my cat how to use the toilet, he's going to be as proud as I am. Don't you think?
I mean, I would hope. You'd still have a litter box just in case the toilet is unavailable. What?
No way.
Oh, you got to have a litter box.
What if the door gets shut and you're gone? You don't realize someone accidentally shut the bathroom door.
Because cats do love burying their poop.
Well, I'm going to teach him how to flush
Everybody does.
You're going to teach him how to flush it?
Yeah, man.
That's not the same as burying. They won't understand.
He's going to see
doing.
poop, and then he's going to not see poop.
He's going to be trying to bury it in the water is what you're going to be dealing with. Who do you know that is realistically trained their cat to use the toilet besides the parents and meet the parents?
If I'm being honest, I don't know anybody.
Okay.
but that doesn't mean anything. I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I've seen people. I've even seen like a whole how to teach them how to do it. If you're going to teach them to do it in the litter box, just teach them how to do it on the toilet, man.
I mean, I wish you good luck. I just feel like the cat's going to want to bury that. It's going to want to bury the lead. I don't know. You know, it's going to have a hard time. And then you're going to have to put up with whenever the toilet's unavailable. You know, somebody's visiting and the toilet's not available. Now he's peeing in the plant.
Oh.
All right, and then he's on Prozac, and then you're a freaking mess. I'm just saying.
Sounds very specific.
I know.
Yeah. Hello.
strange.
What?
Yeah.
Hello.
Everything going okay in Catland?
Things are fine, I
Yeah.
guess.
You were posting some of your cats over the weekend.
I was having a catter day. Appreciation post.
Well, thank you for your emails. RizShow at 1057thepoint.com. If you're on Learn's side or if you're on my side with the cat toilet training thing, you seem like you'd want to train your cat to go in the toilet.
I think that'd be rad. If you could get a cat to poop and pee in the toilet where I don't have to handle the biz.
Amazing. It's possible.
Big time. Yep. Nice.
I'd invite more friends over just to see them do that. Check this out. Watch my cat.
Yeah. See, because I want to get a Maine Coon, and that thing's going to have to use the toilet because it's like one go around. That thing will fill up the whole litter box.
Those are enormous.
My
turds.
buddy just got a new Maine Coon, and they look like little werewolves with big old bell-bottom
They're the
paws.
coolest,
They're
man.
so cute. What's up to Rigsby? So cute.
Teach Rigsby to go in the toilet. It'll be a celebrity.
Hey, by the way, I got to pet a mini Highland cow on Saturday, and that made my day.
Where did you do that at?
It was a petting zoo at the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah,
they had
You didn't
giant
tell me
turtles.
there was a petting. That would have gotten me there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
It was and
Donuts
you could
and
ride
petting
horses.
zoo?
Yeah, man.
Riding horses
And
out there.
JC, let's go.
That's right.
Maine Coons are too big, though, man. It's like They got to use the toilet because I don't want to ever have to question whether it's a cat or human turd in that litter
Exactly.
box. And it's just too
And you
big.
got to scoop it out. Get out of
I
here.
got to scoop it. I'm like, is somebody
It's like
pranking
having
me?
an Easter egg hunt every day of your life. You know what I mean?
And we already domesticated the thing. I totally understand what the emailer is saying, but at the same time, like we're already making this thing stay inside. You're already teaching it to poo in a box. Just poo in the hole.
Put the box in the toilet. Let it poo in the box a few times. Then you take the box out of the toilet. And now you got a cat that poops and pees on the toilet.
Be the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever. Thank you for your emails. All right, it's 9:23. Let's have one last look at traffic and weather. Learn coming at you.
And it's brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. If you need some extra cash, Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Nothing to report. Excellent driving today. Really impressed. Your weather today, high of 66, a low of 48. Currently, it's 56 out there, and your point weather is brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning. More reliable than your St. Louis weather.
Stand by for news.
It's Donnie Fandango backstage at Point Fest. For one, I just almost fell out of my chair.
It is.
And for two, boy, that would have made a really great way to start
Good
the interviews
intro.
of the day. Yeah. All right, so let's settle this first and foremost. You and me here right now. 0936.
Yes.
All right. I heard it in a couple of different ways. It confused the hell out of me, man.
It confuses me.
Okay, well then good. Then I don't feel as bad that it's not just me.
I put
How are you, everybody? Donnie Fandango, and I am very lucky, and I know I'm nervous because my hands are sweating like crazy. I got Pete and Sam from Chevelle. Gentlemen, welcome back. It's really great to see you.
Hey, it's good to be seen. Good to be here, Donnie.
Well, and it feels like there was a number of years where we were running into each other a couple of times a year, but now it's been, I would say, probably 3 years, and it feels like forever, but you're back with great new music, guys. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, it does feel like forever.
So let me ask you this, the break between records was the longest of your career. I'm sure you're going to get this question 6 billion times and have already, but it was a long break. What was going on during that time? Was it just a record that took a little while longer to make?
Yeah, we were doing records almost every 2.5 years, roughly. Yeah. And I think I hit a wall and I just needed a little more time. I think I kind of like, you know, we don't learn very quickly. We learn by mistakes mostly. So we decided, hey, let's add another year. Well, that year turned into an extra year, and you know, because of COVID and all that. So we wrote a ton of music, and then in 2019 we went back to the drawing board and wrote another 6 songs because
we did a long tour in 2019 too.
Yeah, that we had
from writing.
A good opportunity that came up that we didn't want to pass up, and then so we kind of had a a collective thing where we came together and say, hey, I don't think half of these are good enough. So our producer pushed us and we came out. So anyway, I wrote Self-Destructor at the end of 2019 and a host of other songs. And we needed to record those in March of 2020. that was right when COVID was kind of hitting, right? I guess everybody has their own time frame of that. But for us, we were in LA and it was March 5th and it was really starting to crack down in LA. And we finished the album up and then skedaddled back home March 18th. So
yeah,
then it turned in, we were like, okay, so when do we put the record out? Let's hold for a minute. And then we got into the summer and we were like, Sam and I are freaking out. We're like, you know, let's just put it out. So we've been trying to put this album out since summer of 2020, but we had some disagreements. It's weird. It's a weird time. We didn't know what was right. So we held off, but then I had an epiphany. I woke up and I was like, one day I was like, Sam, dude, let's just do whatever it takes to get it out. We need to feed the fans. We need to feed ourselves creatively. Let's just put it out. It is what it is. I don't want to sit down any longer. So the label agreed, and this is where we're at, and now we're promoting. So couldn't be happier with the response, though. So thank you.
Well, and I want to ask about Self-Destructor because to mine, and I've been a fan of you guys for, I mean, a long time. And I looked, by the way, Self-Destructor is at least the 17th Chevelle song that we have played on the point over the course of your career in our career.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's insane.
But this, to me, this is certainly the longest single you guys have ever released.
Yeah.
Is it the longest song you've ever made? And was that a calculated move to change things up a little bit, or can you kind of talk about that? Because I was surprised as heck to see a 5-minute 43-second Chevelle song.
Yeah. Well, here, Sam, if I don't mind me answering that. So, okay, the song was written and we didn't think it was a single at all.
Yeah.
So we just write now. And it is what it is. But this, the ending, the reason it has the piano on is because we were huge Faith No More fans, you know, growing up as, you know, teenagers. And I don't know if it was, so I'm writing on different things now. Piano, there's keyboard on the new album. There's different sounds, things like that. I'm doing a lot of soundscape stuff on my own. So I started incorporating that in. And I had this piano part. And then we thought, what, you know, I don't know if it was Barisi that said it or Sam. Was it you that said, hey, we should end this like Faith No More song epic?
It was me. I went.
You know, and so I remember sitting there, and actually it's coming back to me more clearly now. So we did. He was like, all right, he sat a keyboard in my lap one day at the studio, and he's like, all right, if we're going to do that, write something. And I was like, oh shit. All right. I was like, got any beer? I need something to like, cause I was on the spot, you know, but, you know, over the next couple of days, we started messing around and we came up with the ending. And so that turned into a 5.5-minute song. Lo and behold,
maybe you're on the way to a job and you're like, man, this is not what I want. I want a career. Well, you can start your career as a floor layer apprentice with the Carpenters Union today. Just call them 314-644-4800. That's 314-644-4800. Or go to the website apply.ficstl.org. You can get paid while you learn. An earn while you learn education model. That means as you're learning all these skills, you're going to get paid in the process. You don't have to set aside all the time for expensive degrees or pile on debt and delay years of valuable earning potential. Explore this alternative path. And we're talking about union membership, union benefits, medical, dental, vision coverage, pension, annuity benefits. You're working towards something. If that sounds good, call them. 314-644-4800 and become a floor layer apprentice with the Carpenters Union. Lay the path for a new career. Apply.ficstl.org. That's apply.ficstl.org.
Well, here we are backstage at Point Fest with Greek Fire.
Hey,
gentlemen.
Hi, Donnie.
So guys, how'd it go today?
Well, you know, it went excellently.
Yeah, man.
You know why? Because so we had, just to fill anybody in, we had a bunch of technical difficulties, and it really wasn't anyone's fault, but a whole bunch of stuff was going wrong. But I tell you what, man, the St. Louis crews worked so hard. Everybody is friendly here. Thank goodness for Midwestern hospitality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody did such a great job fixing it. We got it on. And honestly, it was a blessing in disguise because it gave a few more minutes for these seats to fill up. And boy, St. Louis was ready, man. Like it was such a good crowd. And opening the main stage.
Riz.
Welcome back to the Rizzuto Show. Hey, we're probably not going to have time to get into a full sports report, so we'll just kind of update you on the Blues. Rafe, you were just looking. We got a game tonight?
That's right. The Blues did lose over the weekend 5-3 to the Winnipeg Jets, but they play today in Winnipeg at 6:30, looking to even the score and bring things back to St. Louis. Let's go Blues. And also the Cardinals, after a promising start, they dropped all 4 games against the Mets last week. Not great, and they have a busy week ahead of them. On a rainy week, they go to Atlanta for 3 games. At the beginning of the week, they'll be back home in Busch against the Milwaukee Brewers. Hopefully they can turn things around, because right now the things are not going great for the Redbirds.
Well, go Cards, let's go Blues.
Go Cards, go Blues.
Go Cards, go Blues. Pretty physical game that first game on Saturday too. I mean, they should have been down 1.
That was crazy.
They pulled a goalie. That's why it was a 2-goal deficit there. But all right, let's do some news.
Oh, yeah. We gonna do some news.
Brought to you by
Schicker Auto Group, your headquarters for American-made Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Jeep vehicles. Shop local. Visit shopschicker.com.
All right, listen up, Missouri. If you thought your summer was just going to be corn dogs and cover bands, think again.
Yeah.
Because this year, the Missouri State Fair is about to get a whole lot quackier.
Uh-oh.
That's right. The world's largest rubber duck is waddling its way to Sedalia, Missouri. And when I say large, I'm not talking about the one that you had in your bathtub as a kid. No. We are talking about the yellow beast that clocks in at 6 stories tall and 11 tons. You could lose your car behind this thing.
Wow.
Apparently, her name is Mama Duck, and she's been floating around the country, dropping jaws and photobombing family vacation pics everywhere she goes. If your Instagram feed needs a little more sunshine and a lot more waterproof poultry, you are in luck. What's the deal? The duck will be making her Missouri debut at the State Fair from August 8th to the 18th, and you can't miss it unless you somehow manage to walk past a 61-foot-tall rubber duck without noticing.
That's cool.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, organizers say that the duck is all about fun and whimsy, and let's be honest, who couldn't use a little more of that these days? Plus, she's a great excuse to drag your kids or your buddies out to the Missouri State Fair this year. So mark your calendars. The rides are cool. Food is fried. This year, it's all about this duck, Mama Duck.
It's all about kindness. It's a kindness duck.
Scott, you going down there to?
You know, now that the giant rubber duck is there, heck yeah, I haven't been in many years.
Did they announce the bands?
I don't know. They always
I
have a
haven't
good
seen 'em.
lineup.
Illinois State Fair has Def Leppard headlining this year.
Whoa!
But I haven't seen Missouri's.
So tight.
Super tight.
Lineup.
They do the racing and all that kind of stuff over in Illinois like they do in Missouri?
I've never been to the Illinois State Fair. I've only gone to Monroe County and DuQuoin State Fair.
Yeah, the real Illinois.
The real Illinois State Fair.
According to this, the viral Richmond, north of Richmond singer, he's going to be playing State Fair.
Huh.
That redheaded guy that
swept
swept through socials.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The makers of a Target store brand baby food are recalling 25,000 packages due to possible lead contamination. The recall includes Target Goods and Gather baby pea, zucchini, kale, and thyme vegetable puree sold in 4-ounce tubs nationwide. So look for lot numbers 4167 and 4169 on the packages. If you have any recalled products, return them to Target or throw them out immediately. Lead contamination possible.
Hey, by the way, back to the Missouri State Fair.
Yeah.
The music acts have been announced.
Oh, please tell.
Winona Judd.
Whoa.
Reeves Bestie.
Redheaded
Blues
summer.
Traveler, Jen Blossoms, and the Spin Doctors.
Get on out of here in
a lot of
1995.
redheads.
That's on August 8th. And then Oliver Anthony with the Davison Brothers Band. Not sure, but sure. And then a bunch of, I'm assuming, country rock guys, lots of cowboy hats. Flo Rida, also part of the bill.
Doggone.
Oh, yeah. Well, did we already talk about this,
I
or
think
was
we
he here
did.
last year?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't think we. That's pretty cool though. Judd is
Interesting.
huge.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
The Southwest Precinct in Seattle, Washington is actually looking for volunteers to come in, get high, and help police officers practice DUI testing. This is not a joke. This is not one of those, hey, if you're doing something wrong, we're trying to entice you or something, whatever. The SPD training unit is running something they call DUI Green Lab on Friday, May 9th. They need volunteers 21 and up. to consume marijuana however you'd like, edibles, vaping, smoking, whatever. Volunteers then pair up with officers who run standard field sobriety tests on them throughout the day to see how their impairment changes over time. The point is to help officers get better at spotting marijuana impairment since more DUIs now involve weed. You bring your own product, yes, with a receipt if you can, and they hook you up with lunch and snacks. You show up at the SPD training facility in Soto around 9:30 a.m. and you're there until 4. So this is an all-day thing. Let's see. They ask that you do not drive to or from the session. They will even provide transportation if you need it. If you're interested, just reach out to the crime prevention coordinator at the SPD. The police want you high for science.
Yeah. Do they have a helipad? Because I'd like to fly in and see.
You're going to be flying anyway, man.
Dude, I know.
Science.
Yeah.
I mean, being stoned around a bunch of cops, like, I don't know if I don't know.
What a waste of
this
weed.
is a trick. It's
Just a waste of weed.
Yeah.
They want you to provide the weed, too, which is the worst part. Be like, hey, you want to waste your money on a Saturday? Get high and ruin your life and come hang out with cops.
Listen, Officer Jones, I can't explain why, but I'm feeling a little paranoid at this point.
Right. I need to get out of here. Put the siren on. Let's go.
Looking at the Illinois State Fair.
Oh, yeah. Who else is on?
I'm trying to decide which state fair got it right.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
We'll see what you guys think. Tell me the Saturday. Can you tell me the Missouri one again?
Winona Judd, Blues Traveler,
Gin
Gin
Blossoms.
Blossoms.
And Spin Doctors.
Spin Doctors.
If you like to go to the Ferris wheel, Illinois State Fair is coming at you with the Black Crows.
Ooh-wee.
Megan Maroney, Sheryl Crow. I'm sensing a Crow theme. Snoop Dogg, Brad Paisley, the Chainsmokers, Def Leppard, and the Turnpike Troubadours.
Damn, Illinois.
Mighty crap. Somebody spent more money than
What the
somebody
heck?
else.
Well, I know it probably costs a lot, but
Golly dang. That's huge.
I think Illinois got that one.
I think
Yeah,
Illinois
Paisley
kinda got
might
that
win
one,
it for
dude.
me.
That's sweet.
What did you fly this weekend? Was it American?
Southwest.
Southwest.
Aw.
Okay, well, American Airlines is on the verge of offering passengers free
Kindness.
Wi-Fi. Free Wi-Fi on most flights.
Okay.
On Tuesday, the company announced a partnership with AT&T to provide internet service aboard to most passengers. In order to access the free Wi-Fi, you got to sign up for their the AA Vantage, the Advantage loyalty program. American Airlines hopes to have 90% of its fleet ready for the free internet by January 2030.
Nice.
No, I'm just kidding. 2026.
Don't most airlines now offer free Wi-Fi?
I don't think they give you free Wi-Fi. They give you like free entertainment within their system. Does that make sense?
Ah.
You got to pay for the
my
Wi-Fi.
My sister-in-laws are always calling from the air.
There's something that was like $4.99 or something where you can like get unlimited texts and some other things. But I think most of them you got to pay something for that.
Yeah, usually it's limited. Like
Or you
if
gotta
get
have the
Wi-Fi
platinum
on
status.
Southwest, you're not scrolling Instagram, and there's certain apps that it won't support. They won't support Netflix, nothing streaming. Basically, just gives you access to the basic internet and your emails.
Weather.
I would like to report though, after flying Southwest, I forgot to report this at the top of the show. Rafe 2, Real ID enforcement 0.
Oh, nice.
I'm up 2-zip. Your move, Real ID.
That's right, because you were
Not even a question, baby.
nobody
Just
questioned.
just a driver's license and a pleasant smile and a really bad picture taken on an iPad. And I was through TSA pre-check, which I also got in last day to get that renewed. Everything's coming up, Rafe.
That's great.
Didn't have to go, didn't get turned gay in that machine. Didn't have to go through it.
Oh, the gay beam?
Oh,
Nope,
man.
just went through the regular
Lucky.
old thing.
That's
Shoes
great.
on, rings on.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Feeling good. And so far I'm sticking to my guns, and I wouldn't say that in the airport,
Whoa.
but no Real ID hassle thus far.
Okay. This is good.
Well, this sounds like the dumbest health hack ever. A new study found out that it actually works. If you don't want to exercise, turns out you can get some of the same benefits by just rushing through stuff all the time.
Great.
Okay.
If you have no time to get your Real ID, that's okay. You got plenty of things to do. A study in the journal Circulation found that doing random tasks and chores faster might do wonders for your health. Researchers tracked the movements of 24,000 adults for about a week. None of them were people who got regular exercise. the ones who did minor tasks briskly saw major health benefits years later. For some, their heart attack and stroke risk was half what it was for people who went through the motions. Minor stuff like speed vacuuming the rug or walking faster when you take out the trash. They even found 5 minutes of rushing per day made a difference. The idea is just to get your heart pumping, and you don't have to be pumping iron to do it. The lead author of the study put it this way, quote, "It's a good idea to find ways to fit exertion into daily life, but that doesn't mean that you actually have to exercise."
I heard this on a podcast recently with a doctor who said highly anxious people with like sped up heart rates, they burn more calories because their heart is like going nonstop.
Yeah.
So that would make sense with this if you're rushing through everything.
My wife said yesterday, we were on a walk, and she goes, I burn about 240, 340 calories just from cleaning the house the way that I do. So maybe she was reading some similar study like this, but she's like, because when she does it, our house looks like a freaking hotel lobby, man.
That's great.
Like when she goes at it, it's boom, 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 boom. She's knocking tons out in a small
I'm
amount
gonna
of
make
time.
my wife burn some calories a day. This is great.
That is nice.
If that doesn't make you feel good, maybe this will. Here's an interesting nugget that came out of Meta's ongoing antitrust trial. Mark Zuckerberg once considered deleting all of your Facebook friends and making everybody start over.
Love it. Do it.
He suggested the idea back in 2022 because the social aspect of Facebook was declining. The thinking was that this would encourage users to reconnect with Facebook and rebuild their social connections.
Oh, man, that would help
That would
everybody
be
so
awesome.
much. You know, those awkward people that are just like, they're just kind of lurking. They don't even interact with you. You don't even know them.
But what about people that have passed and you?
Well, that would suck, yeah. Because I do have some legacy accounts. I got some dead friends that, like, I'll go to my friends that have passed, like, their Facebook page just to, like, look at them again. That's sad, but I appreciate that the legacy accounts are on there. So that would suck. But for all the lurker people that, like, you don't want to have a whole thing by deleting them. God forbid they notice. That whole thing.
Well, they're saying it's harder to reconnect with your friends and families because, and it's Meta's fault, you're seeing less of your friends' content on Facebook and Instagram and more suggested content, short-form videos, and other algorithmic distractions. In one slide of Meta's presentation, they share this stat. 2 years ago, the time spent viewing friends' content was 22% on Facebook, 11% on Instagram, and now it's 17% on Facebook and only 7% on Instagram. They also noted that Instagram has become more of a messaging app than a broadcast sharing app at this point.
A lot of people don't understand on Facebook, there's a tab you can go to just see your friends. There's the friends feed. So if you are, like, when you just go to your main page and you're seeing your stupid feed and it is all the ads or suggested posts, there is a friends feed that you can click on and it'll just give you all of your friends. Unfortunately, you cannot default to that as like your main feed, and that's kind of the evil of Facebook, but there is a feed for that.
Interesting. I don't think a lot of people knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Well, that's your news. We'll take one more break and come back and wrap it up.
It's a nerve-wracking day. What? You guys and Queens of the Stone Age. Back-to-back interviews. I'm already a high-strung person. Whew. I can't wait to have a beer when this is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
You don't need to worry about us.
Well, yeah, but I do, though, because, see, here's where the rub is with me and bands that I really like. If it's a band that I'm about...
Flooring. Okay. You need some new floors, huh? You're sick of the nasty carpet that came with the house that you just bought. You've been wanting to, I don't know, get some hardwood floors. Or maybe you want to do carpet again. That's cool. You know, people love hardwood floors, but a lot of people, carpet's coming back. I talked to Mike Reynolds, the owner of Michael's Flooring, and he said carpet is back. In fact, they had to hire a bunch of new installers because of the demand for carpet. And so it takes a certain type of person that has a certain type of skill to install carpet. And they got a ton of people applied and hired some new people, which is excellent. Now, 30 plus years, Michael's Flooring has been in St. Louis, and there's different locations for the outlets. You can see them all at igotfloored.com. That's where you can kind of peruse their online inventory and just get like the gist. But until you actually go into one of these stores and, you know, touch the different flooring types and ask the questions and figure out what your budget's going to be able to cover, you really don't know. You know, I don't think flooring is one of those things you can do completely online. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Do it if you want. I'm just one of these people that I got to be able to touch the damn thing before I install it in my home for a lot of money, right? So no matter what type of person you are, Michael's Flooring wants to put some new floors into your home or office. Go to igotfloored.com.
Yeah, I gotta say once again, thanks to Herb Equipment for bringing some toys up here to Riz Farm. And we gotta do some mulching. So Mike and Chad here brought a tractor with them. And check this out. It says Captain Riz on the side. All right, so we're gonna use this to get the mulch from and it's gonna go into the trailer. So I don't know how to use this thing. So who's gonna show me how to operate this fine piece of machinery?
I got you covered, Riz. This is a 3046R John Deere 46 horsepower tractor. Hop on in, man.
All
I
right.
can give you a little rundown of everything.
Where's the air conditioner?
That's as fast as you go. It's the
Okay.
wind in your hair.
Okay.
Hey, the first thing you got to do is give it a crank over.
So I turn the key.
At that point, that selective control valve, which is that lever right there, that'll operate that front loader. Pull back, that'll raise up. If you pull it towards you, it'll tilt it in. There you go. And it'll do the opposite if you push it away from you. This will allow you to go forward, reverse. Very simple nowadays. With
Even I can figure that out. There's arrows. So the arrow pointing this way means go forward, and the arrow that way means go backwards that way. So where's the stereo?
The stereo, the next thing we're going to put in for you. Yeah, but right here, that's where you get all your RPMs. So when you want to hit it and get it, push things forward.
Oh, boy.
That's where all that horsepower comes.
So I would assume the rabbit is fast and the turtle is slow.
That is correct.
All right, mulch. Here we go. Yeah, baby. Bombs away! Now we gotta get that mulch onto that field. So I need to put that mulch in a trailer. So let's get the trailer down here. All right, so I need to hook this onto that. Thank God I have Chad and Mike here from Herb to help me out. So I'm gonna back up, and then you guys help me hook the trailer up to the tractor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. To the field. Not that one. So, time to start mulching. Well, not me. I got some friends. I got some friends helping. So, listen, I'm just going to drive the tractor and they'll shovel the mulch out. Put it on the plants. You guys done yet?
We're waiting for you to pull forward.
Oh, I got to pull forward.
Sitting up there chipping.
It's Donnie Fandango backstage at Point Fest. For one, I just almost fell out of my chair.
It is.
And for two, well, that would have made a really great way to start the interviews
intro.
of the day. Yeah. All right, so let's settle this first and foremost. You and me here right now. 0936.
Yes.
All right. I heard it in a couple of different ways. It confused the hell out of me, man.
It confuses me.
Okay, well then good. Then I don't feel as bad that it's not just me.
I put the colon in there to be read as a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one says it's 9:36 o'clock ever.
Right, ever.
It's never happened. It's never happened.
And it never should happen.
And it won't. I promise.
You know, man, I was reading a bit about you, and it feels like we, as younger guys,
Step into a fresher, cleaner home this spring with Zero Res. You know, spring's a time for renewal. Let Zero Res help you refresh your home with clean carpets, fresh floors, and improved air quality. Zero Res gets rid of winter's buildup, all those lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel, preparing your home for the brighter days ahead. And don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts are the lungs of the house. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Clean air ducts, it helps with allergies, and your home's going to stay cleaner longer. Just check out the 5,900 raving customer reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating. See what all the hype's about. So this month, get 3 rooms, Zero Resified from St. Louis's #1 carpet and air duct cleaner, starting at just $119, and take $75 off that air duct cleaning. Call Zero Res 314-474-2020 or online at ZeroResSTL.com. Say you want the Riz Show special. You owe it to yourself and your family. Breathe healthy, happy, and clean. Spelled backward or forward, spells the same at Zero Res.
Hey, so welcome back to the farm. In the last video, you saw me on the tractor with the brush hog in the field, trying to get everything all good. Kind of a pain. So I called in reinforcements. My friends from McCoy Construction and Forestry, they're here, and they brought toys. Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on, Riz?
Chad and Steve and Mike. Okay, so we got some mowers, because I need some help in the field.
Absolutely.
So you guys saw me with the big brush hog, and I can't, with the elderberry plants out there, I can't really get close to the plants with that big brush hog.
Sure.
So this is for more of a precision cut.
Yes, absolutely. That allow you to get a little closer to those elderberries. So at this point, this is a bad boy commercial zero-turn machine.
It literally is a bad boy. It says bad boy on it.
And it'll cut a lot of grass in that pasture up there for you. It's a 60-inch cut. Want to hop on and see if you can get this thing going?
I have no idea what to do.
But that's a seat. Let's start off.
So if you've gotten yourself into a little bit of a pickle, you got yourself into an accident, it's time to go to West County Auto Body. And let me tell you something, a little secret here is you don't have to just go to where maybe your insurance company's saying go to this place. But no, you want to go somewhere local. You want to go to a place that's going to take care of you. And that's what West County Auto Body does. They'll work for you. They don't work for the insurance companies, and they know that all bodies are not created equal. And that's why they do such an incredible job on every vehicle. And when you leave their lot, you're driving in a safe, reliable, and you're back to that car that you really love. So go to West County Auto Body. Don't make 2 mistakes and go to some random place first and then have to go to West County Auto Body to get it fixed. No, go to West County Auto Body. They're absolutely amazing. It's easy to get there. They're right there on Lindbergh near Page, and you can't miss it. They have a Mater and a couple other vehicles from Cars right there, and they make it very easy to get to. So go to West County Auto Body. They've been in St. Louis for a long, long time now. One location, still St. Louis owned. They're absolutely amazing. It's westcountyauto.com. Go to westcountyauto.com.
Ever found yourself in the middle of your daily deuce and thought, I wish this was funnier? Today's your lucky day. Welcome to the Number 2 Show. I'm your host, Rafe Williams, stand-up comedian, plus-size male model, and co-host of the Rizzuto Show on 105.7 The Point. What is the Number 2 Show? Well, it's me on the toilet talking to you on the toilet, just like it sounds. In each episode, we'll plunge into riveting topics that'll have you rolling in the stall with laughter, so much so that it might freak out whoever's sitting next to you. But I say, hey, lean in and make a friend. Sometimes it's just me. Other times I'll have interviews with special guests. Not now, obviously, dumbass. This is a promo. I'll also have musical performances. Ever heard of tiny desk concerts? How about tiny stall concerts? I'd like to see those nerds over at NPR try that. Is this a genius idea? I don't want to toot my own horn, but you're goddamn right it is. Enjoy the Number 2 Show. Don't forget to wipe.
So here we are, way back Point Fest. Goldfinger, everybody.
Shaka.
Yes, yes. And so here's the thing, okay? John, first thing first. Seen the band a million times. Phenomenal band. You've changed members here, but now you've got a goddamn all-star team going on with our buddy Mike, and then we've got Phil here and Moon, and it's just
Phil and Moon.
It's funny. He's never called me that.
I've never
Never
called
once.
you that ever. And I'm sorry, but that was the first thing that popped into my head.
Moon was telling me because I've known Moon a long time, and I've watched him transition into this amazing frontman of Greek Fire. It's just an incredible transformation that we've made from when I first met him with this like afro out to here, and just like this kid straight out of college. Did you go to college?
No, I did not go to college.
This kid straight out of high school.
Right.
Like, did you go to high school?
I did go to high school. I even finished with a kid.
Okay.
Well, it's really
Me
great
too.
to have you guys. But how does Mike get in the equation? How does Moon get in the equation? Like, how do you decide these guys? Because I know you obviously with the work you do as a producer, there's tons of musicians everywhere that you can get to be a part of Goldfinger.
I think the first time Goldfinger played with MXPX was probably 1996 up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Radio show.
Yeah, radio
and
show.
I remember like same thing. I mean, Mike was a teenager when I first saw him play, whenever that was, and I've known him for forever and ever and ever. And I watched MXPX grow from like an opening band into like headlining bigger than Goldfinger. It was like amazing watching. Look at this guy. I mean, he's such a handsome guy, great songwriter, great voice, great bass player, everything. And so when we just started talking one day, when Kelly joined Buck Cherry, it was sort of like I had tours booked, and I'm like, who would be my first choice?
Right.
Mike Carrera would be choice one. And I called him, and it all worked. And here we are.
How about that?
Here we are. Still doing it.
Woo! And
Great new record, by the way.
And it is. The knife is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I told Moon this, like, I don't buy CDs anymore. I'm a download vinyl guy. But I was buying something at the record store, and they had the knife, like, right there at the display. And I was like, well, I got to get this. And it's fantastic. It's everything that I want in a Goldfinger record,
Thank you. How do you download vinyl, by the way?
I don't download vinyl.
I just want to know, because if there's some new technology on the radio that you know about, I need to learn.
Well, it's good to know that I'm getting crap from you after just meeting you for the first time. That's fantastic. But you know what I mean? Like I don't really buy the records anymore, but I really wanted to hear it. And Put the Knife Away is such a great song. And so talk about the Goldfinger record and how that works these days. I mean, obviously a gigantic chunk of these ideas are yours, but talk about how Mike and Moon weigh in and make it the Goldfinger record altogether.
I had a lot of the ideas kind of mapped out. Travis Barker played on the record, who's my neighbor. So I kind of had the song, the bulk of the songs kind of done. And then these guys came in when we were rehearsing for that 1 week of LA shows when we played with Travis. And I basically said, whatever you want to do, play your own parts, write your own guitar parts and everything. And they just kind of played on top of Travis's beats that already existed. I had most of my vocals done. Mike sang on probably half the record and Moon sang on the other half. And so I felt like it was a conglomeration of all of us.
Yeah.
But it was a lot. I mean, I took 2 years to write this album. So Am I Deaf is probably more like 6 years old. And that was the oldest song. Because, I mean, it's been 10 years since we put out a record.
We played that song live, I think, 3 years ago. So
that's amazing how that comes together. But I mean, I don't want my band to release an album every year. I want them to release them whenever they've got the best 12 or 13 or 14 or whatever that case may be. So if it's got to be another 2 years, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, you need my approval.
Well,
but,
no, but thank you. But I think that perspective gives you so much. And like, I'm now older than I was 10 years ago. And I know what Goldfinger is more now than I did 20 years ago.
Sure.
We had sort of growing pains. Our first record was a very ska punk album. Second album was like this kind of Beach Boys venture. Hang-Ups was kind of all over the place. I love the album, but now I really understand what works live after touring for 24 years, what kids want to see. And I feel like we put together there's fast punk, there's ska songs, there's reggae songs.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Did you ever think there would be a time in your life that you would be joining this band?
No, man. No, I was just happy the first time that we opened for Goldfinger in like 2003 or 2 or whatever it was. And I was like, damn, I came home, I was like, I played with Goldfinger once. And then it happened again. And then it happened for a couple tours. And then John did our record. And it was like, just milestone after milestone that I never expected. So it's not even like hitting goals, because those aren't goals that you think are obtainable. I never thought like, man, someday I want to play guitar for that band. That never crossed my mind, so it's a dream come true for me, man.
Do you know I really legitimately now feel bad about calling him Phil 2 times in the interview?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You're going to get it later.
Like, it's setting in how much. And what another thing that's fascinating is, John, you're always doing the producer stuff. Mike, you still have MXPX full on kicking. Greek Fire is a big entity as well.
New Story of the Year record, too.
New Story of the Year record as well. Like, you guys are always having your hands in something, and I'm amazed by the creativity in which that you can dole out for Goldfinger and dole out for, it's just unbelievable to me, the talent that you guys possess.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm so honored to have these guys. I remember when Phil joined Story of the Year halfway through album 1 when I was producing the record. You know, they were Big Blue Monkey back in the day when I first, like, it gave me a VHS cassette of all this jackass moments.
It got thrown on the bus.
All that, yeah.
Right.
That's exactly how
Right here at this venue.
Right here, yeah.
Thank you for being with us. Riz is back tomorrow. We leave you with the Team Riz.
Oh. Very cool.
Scott started clapping.
I got excited, when the boss is back.
You don't need to kiss his butt when he's not here, only when he is here. Team Riz Member of the Day brought to you by Hot Sauce Sports Bar and Grill, the official sports bar of the Rizzuto Show and home to the St. Louis sports fans since 1990. Chelsea Christ from Troy, Illinois. Listen, make sure you check us out, RIZZ Show, on all of our socials. Check out the clip of the day brought to you by Michael's Flooring, and the podcast brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto. And what's the title?
A Visit from the Liquid Shadow.
Oh my gosh! Yes, thank you
Very
for
good.
reminding me.
Thanks.
We'll leave with this song selected by Chelsea Christ. Thanks for selecting this,
Yep.
guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Energy up.
I know.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ready to roll? We are backstage at Point Fest. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent and Barry from Shinedown. What's up, gentlemen?
Well,
How are
hello.
you?
What's going on? How are you?
It's great to see you. It's great to see you.
Good to be
First
seen.
of all,
Thanks for being cool with us because I was super late. I was very